Live. Let me pop your screen back open. There we go.
We probably ought to try to lead in a little more professional, just for the shit of it, shits and giggles.
Yeah, I thought about getting like some custom music to start us and getting like a splash screen or something like that. I was like, we come in hot. Like we just let it ride.
Just let it ride. Let her rip.
We got Woet.
Woet
from Belgium and Kim from Denmark.
Nice shit.
Yeah.
We're rolling.
We are. Everybody.
Rolling with the fatness tonight.
We got all of Europe up in here.
All Europe up in here. There's Taffy and Dunville, Padre Brie.
There we go.
One Sam Mateer.
That's right. Let me get my list.
I know I've seen that, but I can't remember who that is.
Let me get my list.
Who is that? I guess we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're going to figure it out. I'm going to let a few folks come in.
Florancho, Leadhead, that's who it is.
That's who it is. Led with, I got him.
Yeah, I knew it was familiar. I knew it was somebody.
Squirrel. All right, we got Kim.
Oh shit, Squirrel's here?
Squirrel is here. She was here last time too. Our Whisper.
Really died, man. We've got like the murderers. Well, let me rephrase that. We've got the all-stars. Nobody in here is a criminal that I'm aware of. Let's put it that way.
I'm going to stay quiet. We got Lindsay Park, Amir, Our Whisper.
D Money Schaefer in the house.
That's
Smithy.
Schaefer.
Chips for you to see.
Bazals. Chips is Maddie. All right. For you to see.
Yeah, we still have to come across we still have to get Padre to send us some of that hot sauce. I need to buy some from him. I'm not looking for a handout, but we need to get some of that.
Yeah, we'll get it on here and we'll advertise it. Or maybe we just get Padre. Yeah. Maybe the next stream we just get Padre Bry on here with us.
Yeah, we could have like a tasting episode. Croft 68. The first 67 Crawfords are not here. Croft 68 is.
All right.
So what do these little crowns mean? Is that like
crowns
mean they're hot shit or something?
Oh yeah, those mean that they are followers, I think. Or no, they have Prime Gaming, so they can actually subscribe. Well, if I didn't turn it on, but if we turned on monetization, they could subscribe to us through Amazon for free. But
cool.
I didn't go that route. Not yet, anyway. I don't know that we want to go that route. We can talk about that.
Yeah, no, I'm not out here. First off, we're not that interesting. Secondly, let's not all about the monetization. No. I mean, this you gotta have some entertainment. Now, like as a Prime Gaming, and this is they don't want to hear me ask these questions, but I'm just curious now. Is that like could we still do free streams though if we turned it on?
Yeah, no. It just basically opens us up to monetization. So like if they wanted to. So there's a couple of things that we would have to do. We would have to stream more frequently, number one. And then we would also have to average a certain number of users per stream, which wouldn't be a problem for us. All we got to do is just keep giving shit away.
Dude, we got the lucky rabbi in here.
That's right. And then basically what it does is we would open it up. Somebody would drop their bank account information in there. And then these guys would be able to subscribe through their Amazon accounts for free. So,
and I think I've said hello to everyone. I may have missed Amir. Sorry about that, Amir. And if I've missed anybody, I apologize. Just let me know, and I'll make sure to shout you out. I appreciate you all equally. I'm just old and have bad eyes, but I do have an awesome beer here, and I'm gonna go ahead and dox myself. Okay, I did look 4 different places. Pardon me. I looked 4 different places for Colt 45 and could not find it. However, Frank's taking one for the team, and he did find a Colt 45.
I sure did, and I'm going to jump on this grenade. So this is going to be interesting for my. I didn't realize they were only $1.29. So now I'm even more worried.
I promised, fam. I'll get on here with either an Old English or Colt 45 eventually. I did look. Next time I see one, if I see one in the wild, I'll definitely grab one. But I could only look a handful of places.
There we go. Already spilled it.
And a Skippy in the house? Question, Skippy. Is that short for North America, or is there something more interesting that goes not that's not interesting. I'm just curious. In North American, Skippy?
I foamed the hell out of that beer. I'm kind of glad I foamed the hell out of that beer.
New Albany. Are you from New Albany? That is cool, Skip. As has been mentioned many times I'm from Louisville, so yeah, we probably ran into each other at a mall somewhere. So we are, yeah, for 40 some years. I don't know how long I lived there, but for 40 some years, I was a resident of the Ville.
Yeah, so I am going to ask for one favor tonight, guys. If you have a question, and only if you have a question, it's going to be super, super easy for me to pick them out. If you just do, I'm going to do it in the chat here, but if you do at Derby Fever, it will highlight it and tell me that there's a mention. So if you're going to ask a question, just make sure you do at Derby Fever, all one word. That way I'll see your question. I won't have to try to hawk you down through what do you call it, through the chat. But yeah, that would be super, super helpful for me, and Mike for that matter. So yeah, man. So we got 26 folks in here already.
That is not bad.
We filled up pretty quick.
Yeah. Did I tell you guys what kind of beer I'm drinking, though? I'm not drinking Colt 45. Did I mention this? This is actually a pretty slick little beer. This is from a Tennessee local brewery called Tailgate. It's called Peanut Butter Stout. So there we go. They have a couple of breweries and restaurants here. Pretty good. So
I think I got a bad beer. This thing is foaming like
yes,
crazy.
you do. One knob's on top of the mountain, and New Albany's in the valley. The snobs live in the knobs.
Why is Frank's screen so tiny? You know what?
I don't know. Tiny, Frank?
It is.
Yeah, I'm ugly, man. Just split this. They don't need to see me like this. Maybe this is a Zoom thing. Maybe this is a me setting.
This might be. There we go. I got it. I flipped it. I had mine on your face instead of just gallery. That's on me.
Yeah. I was scaring the natives. I apologize, people. We gotta let beautiful Frank.
Oh yeah, I don't think I've ever been described as that before.
Thank God, Donnie Baseball says.
Woo! Sorry about that, guys. I know Halloween's around the corner, but all right. So I guess cheers to this.
Cheers.
This is gonna be
not cheers for you.
No, this is gonna
be cheers. Let's see how it goes. Man, Frank's a pro. Look at that shit.
Oh, that's gross. Yeah, that ain't it. That ain't it. Ooh.
Is it as bad as drinking Bailey's out of a boot?
You know, I think I might prefer that. I might prefer that. Oh man. Right. So I'm just gonna rattle off some names, guys, for attendance in case, I miss you. Just pop your name in the chat. But I got Ledwith, Squirrel, Kim Muggle, Woet, R Whisper, Lindsay Park, which I spelled wrong, and I know this fucked me up last time I was looking for you.
I'll get back with you in a minute, Taff.
Amir, Dennis Schaefer, Bazals, Chips for You to See, FL Rancho, Croft. What was it? Croft 68, right? Mm-hmm. Lucky Rabbi.
The first 67 Crofts are not here.
Dunville Downs, Donnie Baseball, and NA Skippy, and there's Beer Keg. There we go.
Oh, the keg in the house. All right. But yes, Taffy was asking why would you drink Bailey's out of a boot? I think I got the phrase wrong. There was a I ought to make this a trivia question. You know what? First trivia question of the night. I'm coming in hot. 3B cards. Who drinks Old Bailey out of either a shoe or a boot? It was a
Mother Goose.
No, it was a quick special. No, not Santa. It's all right. You know what? Don't worry about it. You guys can look it up. But yeah, look up Bailey's out of a shoe, Bailey's out of a boot. I think it's out of a shoe, sadly. So I could have butchered that line. No, not a cowboy boot. Yeah, it could be a cowboy boot, but it's Old Greg. There it is. FL Rancho gets the 3B cards.
Old Greg,
two G's. You got the name right and everything.
The YouTube
Do not
video?
look up Old Greg.
The YouTube video?
It was a skit on a comedy show.
I remember it. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Old Greg. I don't know why I don't remember the
Greg.
The Baileys. Oh my
yeah.
God. And they're in the boat. They're in the boat or whatever, and he just
Gorilla Monsoon. Oh, close, but no cigar. All right.
All
so
right.
yeah, while I'm looking up, I promise FL Rancho 3B cards here. While I'm doing that, I'm going to let you lead the row and get us started here.
All right. So just to get things started, we'll just go over the prizes real quick. We're not giving them away right now, or at least I'm not. But we have a couple of at least some cool ones this week, I think. We have a Tappet share. because you all are asking for Tappet shares, and we have a Tappet share that's going to go out at some point. We have a horse that was bred today. It's a 2-year-old, Whispering Justice. Thank you, R. Whisper, for the suggestion. He gave us Justified by Galileo by Theatrical. So that's a nice looking horse there. We also have another one inspired by Desperado, which he doesn't know this, but I kind of stole it from him since he had some success with this sire earlier in the week. But the name of the horse is Hit the Light, and it's City of Light, Smart Strike, and Awesome Again. And then we couldn't go a stream without giving a 45 horse away. So what we did is we got Midnight 45, and then the breeding is Midnight Loot, Empire Maker, and Scat Daddy. So we're also going to do the beer card giveaways, the B card giveaways,
the beer card giveaways.
Yeah.
The real Desperado is here.
And then, is the real Desperado here? Oh, he is.
Oh, dude, Padre Bree did a shoey in the Ville.
Excuse me. Sorry, that Colt just crept up on me. So we also got B card giveaways, and then we have a really cool gift. Since I do run them. I have control of the stables. The Casino's old stable. I don't know if you all know Casino, but he was a longtime player. Super cool guy. Him and I still email from time to time. But he gave me his barn at the end of last year, and I haven't done much with it except lease mares to this point. So we are going to give away one of his grade 1 end of the year award winning mares called Malibu Vixen. So it will be... So you guys can look that up. I forgot to write down. I know it's by Malibu Moon, but I forgot to write down the entire breeding. But what will happen is you'll pick a sire. I will breed it out of Casino's stable, and I will send it to you.
Cool. So free sire too, then.
Yep, free sire.
Nice.
With the grade 1 winning mare that has all the accolades you can ask for.
But you know what I have? This is a gift that I have, but not for anyone here. Frank gave me this. I don't know if you can see this. This is a Megadeth Rust in Peace mini guitar that I'm absolutely smitten with. So thank you, Frank.
You're welcome. For those of you who don't know, it was Mike's birthday on the 15th.
12th.
See that? I didn't know either. Yeah. So, but yeah, me and my son and my wife, we wrote Mike a nice little handmade card, and I saw these cool little things one day on whatever it was, wherever I was looking. We were talking about something, and I happened to look it up by accident, and yeah. So truth be told, I actually got lucky because Amazon screwed up the order and delivered it to the wrong address. Technically, I gave the wrong address, but they delivered it to the wrong address. I went to that address, got the box, told them they delivered it to the wrong address, and then they re-delivered it to Mike. So I got me a guitar as well. Let me grab it. There we go. There it is. Nice little Megadeth Rust in Peace. So for our metalhead friends.
Yes.
All right. Trying to down this Colt 45 as quick as possible because it's gross. And to answer your question, Beer Keg, which I did see, no, it's not better out of the can.
It just takes longer to drink that way.
Yeah. Oh, I've made some good progress. I'm almost done.
I know you can. I mean, that's the good thing about a glass is you can like hold your nose and get a good flow going. Cans, you had to chug a lug, man. It's hard to get. Yeah. You know, they're just messier. So you can work it.
So Beer Keg asked, is there a Stormcat sire share or is there a Flying Spur sire share? Yeah, they're somewhere out there. They're floating around someplace.
Yeah.
Let's see. Padre said I chugged a beer from a shoe in Louisville. Oh, you said, yeah, you read that comment.
Yep.
All right, we got Donnie who has a mention here. Oh, he wants us to click on a link. I'm assuming this is the filly. Yep, there it is. That's the mare that you'll be getting.
Whoop, there she is.
Malibu Vixen. I'll pop her in the screen here real quick in front of our ugly mugs. She's nice little sprinter. Won 9 times, ran 26 times.
Not bad.
In the money 19 times total. Pretty damn good.
Really? That is pretty solid.
Yeah, so this is going to be
better than the Callus Doughboy horse I was going to give everybody today, so you can thank Frank for that.
Yeah, I jumped on that grenade too, guys. So somehow it ended up in my stable. Let's see. So
what else did I give you? Because we've been testing a new feature that Frank's going to show you a little bit. It's a modified feature, but I actually gave Frank a few mayors, and I think one of them was a Callous Doughboy. Did you get the other ones, or is Callous Doughboy the other one? I know there was. I was checking three. There's an
I
Outflanker.
bred a couple of them and already have them in claimers. I think. Nope, that's
Okay,
not what I
yeah,
wanted
there's a
to
Callous
do.
Doughboy, an Outflanker, and who else did I look up? Rhodes, our boy Rhodes. I think I had. So I don't
Yep,
know
we
if you
got
got anything.
Rhodes, which is happy pending. Let me zoom in a little bit here. There we go. We got Rhodes, which is happy pending, and then Callous Doughboy, which is wild swing. And there was a couple other ones that you gave me to test this out. But do you want to just dive right in and go into the open mares and what we're going to be doing?
Yeah, it's an open slash leasing mayor. Actually, we got a question, but would it be? You know what? We'll look at filters and things eventually. As you probably noticed, we're trying to, not because we want to, but right now, ultimately, everything you see on the game is going to be rewritten. Actually, the this part of the game, this new part that we've added, the all mayors, or not this all mayors, pardon me, the mayor leasing. This is all on a new server, and pretty much that's why it's a lot easier for me to modify those. Still, we have a lot of work to do. We'll talk about that as we go along. But I love the idea that we're getting to a point where we're getting on some stuff, and changes like this will be a lot easier.
Yep.
But we'll probably put a pin on a lot of the kind of like nuanced things until we get a little further along.
Yeah.
And also one other thing before we show them this, Frank, I want you to if you guys haven't noticed, the all mayors is still a little slow, but if you put a mayor's sire in for the all mayor search, it will be notably faster than it used to be. That was a change we made. So even if you start with like ST for Stormcat, for instance, yeah, you'll see how much faster it is. So that should help you guys out a lot with this new upcoming mayor breeding. But what you're looking at now here, and yeah, what we're looking at here, and you're going to see something called a bid here. And I'm going to assume everyone remembers a while back. It's been going on, I think, for at least several years, maybe who knows how long. But when a player has been dormant for a while, their mayors become available to pretty much previously just breed to. And on the 10th, or on October 1st, at midnight, it was a wild scrum to get the mayors, which was always problematic. The game would get a little slow. Last year, I screwed up some code and stuff went out early because time zone changes. And long story short is I screwed some stuff up. So I'm going to try to rectify that, A, this year, B, in the future, and C, to make it so it's completely, we have auditability if we, just to kind of like just pretty much I'm trying to make things in the game as auditable as possible to make them as pretty much just to, so you guys can trust what's going on.
Yeah, it's just transparency is more or less what we're shooting for, is so that you guys can basically do your own auditing without actually having to email us. So it's basically making all that information, all the stuff that not all of it, but most of what we see on the back end available to you at the time that the race went off. That way you can, see exactly what's what.
Right. But this is something that, it'll become a little more transparent as we go along. But what we're going to do is, instead of releasing all the mayors at 10 on October 1st at midnight, we're going to actually take early bidding. And the first release date is going to be October 7th. So say that you wanted to put in now this is credit, say that you wanted to put in a 2,000 credit bid to use Union Jack Flyers a mayor, you would do that on this screen. And we could, if you want to see us put some bids in on some horses, we can do that. But generally speaking, hopefully it's pretty clear. Very similar to what you're used to with the mayor leasing. You type in the bid amount, and then just kind of like scroll down a little bit more, Frank, you'll see that to keep from like spending all credits too much, you can kind of limit how many credits you're spending going around. So say that you don't want to spend any more than 8,000 credits this year. You could spend, 8,000 or 80,000 or, whatever. I guess 8,000. You can set that amount and click. And then once you've gotten that, it hits a point. There's a formula to divvy some horses out. I won't explain that here. It's kind of nerdy. I'm going to have a write up soon that's going to explain it. But finally, the way it works, kind of like I've went kind of like the logistics, but pretty much whoever wants to bid for a horse, say that 3 people want to bid on Union Jack Flyer, there would be 3 bids. There's a formula that goes into place based on an end amount of gold on 10-7 based on a website. So literally it's a MD5 hash, which you guys don't care about, but it shows, it's a transparency thing. So you guys can always go back and make sure that the horse was distributed to the correct person, and there's no manual intervention. This is all automated. I can't modify it at all. And there's history behind it. So yeah, there's you'll have that opportunity to see.
Right. One of the just to kind of jump in, but one of the concepts and one of the goals that we're really, really shooting for going forward is fairness, right? Mm-hmm. We're trying to keep things as balanced as possible.
Fairness too. I mean, we've been fair, but I know that some people obviously, we just want to be completely transparent, as Frank has said.
Right. Some folks don't agree that we've been fair. Fair enough. But yeah, the concept here is to be as completely transparent as possible. We're trying to remain balanced. We're trying to show everybody just exactly what it is we're doing with these, specific features, so that nobody thinks that the game is, or that any one person has an advantage over another from a dev standpoint, right? Because they don't.
Right.
Every player plays by the exact same rules. We don't help anybody else out any more than, the next person or what have you. So that's more or less the gist of it.
Yeah. And then finally, because I'm sure this came up in the chat, I haven't read it yet, but I'll go ahead and finish the final thing. On 10-7, all the horses that anybody wants to bid 2,000 credits on will get transferred very similarly, unlike before where you had to have a sire in line. This is going to be just like the mare leasing. So it's an advantage where before you'd have to have those sires lined up and ready to fire off. Now you can lease this mare pretty much with credits. You have it through the end of the year, and you can wait to breed it at your leisure. You don't have to have the sire. You have to, of course, breed it by the end of the year, but you don't have to have a sire at the time. Secondly, let's say the 2,000, which is a lot. I don't expect many mares to go for that. I know Union Jack Flyer is one of the few that will. But the following week on 10-14, the price will go down to $1,750, as you can see.
Yep.
The following week, it'll go down to, I think, $1,500. And it continues to fall down until it hits 500. And once it hits 500, what's actually going to happen, there's the 1,500. What will happen when it hits 500 is it will be released. Everyone will get, all the mares whoever wants to spend 500 on a mare will get the opportunity to get it. I think that's going to happen on December 22nd. Yeah. And then somewhere around December 22nd or 23rd, this will open back up to open bidding, or pretty much just like click and get. So if you still have some sire shares you need to spend, you don't have enough mares, you can still go out and get them. I will warn you, however, that the price is likely to go up a little bit from this 500. 500 is about as low as you're going to see. Once it hits the open market, it may be like 600 or 700, right, and then it's going to drop from there. But it actually picks up from the old formula that happened last year.
Exactly. So this is basically how open mares is going to work. We're both pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be it's a different take on a chaotic process as it is. But it's
they are just trashing me in the chat.
Are they? Where are you at?
Oh yeah.
Is Mike speaking English? That's true. They're coming after you. Appalachian Hillbilly. I had to actually open that comment up, by the way. That got flagged for racism. It's not racist. Damn. I'm just saying that's what Twitch flagged it as. I opened it up because it's not. Pikeville English. I told you that I watched a movie about Pikeville, right? Not about.
What's the name of the movie?
But it was about an FBI agent who basically, true story by the way, FBI agent who got compromised by his informant. It's called Above Suspicion. It's got the chick Emilia Clarke. She was Daenerys.
Yeah, really. Okay.
What was that, Game of Thrones?
Yeah,
super good movie. So if you all get a chance, watch it. Straight out of Pikeville.
Straight out of Pikeville. But just to kind of I apologize. I know I probably talked a little fast and I'm talking. This won't make sense as much, just kind of like blowing through it. I think it'll make more sense when I release it. We're still testing it. I need to do a write up.
Yeah,
but I think it's hopefully pretty straightforward. And if not, we've still got a couple weeks before I hope to release this by this weekend. And if you still have any questions or comments, this isn't as complicated, of course, as the mayor leasing. But if you have any questions or comments, we can hopefully get it resolved by the 7th when things get distributed.
Yeah, this is more or less kind of like a true raffle in a sense where basically you're putting your bid in as long as you have the 2,000 credits available or whatever the price is at that point in time in your barn or your stable or master or whatever, and you draw the right MD5 hash or the right MD5 hash lands on you, I should say. You will get the horse, and it'll be transferred into your barn. And we're going to probably push these every once a week, right?
Once a week through December. The price continues to drop. It starts at 20, as we've seen, or 2,000. It's like goes down to 1,750, 1,500, 1,250. I think 1,000 after that, and then after that, it starts dropping like 900, 800, 700, 650, 600, 550, 500, something like that. But it kind of like slowly creeps down. And then, because I'm sure that I do not expect many of these horses to go for 2,000 credits, but there's a couple. I know Union Jack Flyer is always a hot commodity, or I think last year may have been her first year. But some of these horses, they're historical producers, and they're also well bred. So yeah, it's there'll be a couple of them that go, but not many.
Yeah. So overall, expect that, like Mike said, next week. So I mean, again, any questions, any concerns, you can hit me up in Slacker or the forums, and you can get both of us on email for the most part. And that's pretty much it. With the open mares anyway.
Yeah. We'll be careful about saying open mares. We'll call them dormant mares, and that's because they're technically not open until the end. But so yeah, that's on me. I've been calling them open mares to Frank, but I've been trying in my file names, etc. I refer to them always as dormant mares, so they're dormant. So I'm trying to use that word. I
can't kick it. I keep saying open, so it's on me because I know it's dormant.
Until like last week because I did so much coding. I finally calibrated myself. I Pavlov dogged myself into calling them dormant mares.
This is the next beer. Hazy IPA Prison Pals.
Oh, nice.
Nelson.
My beer, I just got a cheap Blue Moon because Blue Moon's surprisingly not a bad beer for $7.99 for 16 ounce. So.
I like Blue Moon. I got some of the Blue Moon, like when I was trying to watch my figure, I got some of that Blue Moon Light, the whatever their low carb beer is.
Yeah.
It's absolutely gross. Don't do it. Don't care if you're on a diet or not. If you're on a diet, drink vodka.
Yeah, I'm watching my figure as well. I'm watching it grow further over my waistline. But it's like I always tell people, I'm not working on a 6-pack anymore. I'm working on a keg, baby.
Hey, you're making progress. That's all that matters. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. So Donnie's got Mike's back.
Yeah, Desperado is not impressed.
Nope, not at all. We got almost 30 people up in here. All right, we're doing good.
Inflation. Yeah. All right, you guys are quiet though. Did I bore you to death? Did I put everybody to sleep?
All right, so yeah. Well, I don't think you put everybody to sleep. I think we came out hot. I don't think everybody was expecting the open or the dormant mares. The dormant mares. We did have an agenda, so we're gonna just basically open it up to questions right now, right? Like so. Yeah. We fully expected folks to have mare leasing questions. We fully expected folks to have roadmap questions. The jockey feedback stuff has been a huge topic on the forums. So now is as good a time as any to ask questions. As they roll in, I'm just going to say one thing, like right off rip, and it is that come October 9th, I think is what we said, architecture, well, after we come back off of vacation, which will be November, but architecture of the game, 100% priority number one, minus a few of the, general housekeeping things that we have to do to keep the game up and running. So nothing will be added until we get the back end of the game rewritten. And then that's pretty much it. I just want to make that part of it clear. So even though we are talking about jockey feedback on the forums, we are still a very, very long way out from releasing that. What I was talking about on the forums, just for complete clarity, was possibly doing a spreadsheet release, which would be something like what we're thinking. It wouldn't be a fully fleshed out thing or anything like that. It's kind of like hey, here's a handout of sorts of what's to come. And yeah, that's it. I don't know that I'm going to get to it because we have a whole bunch of other stuff to do, but that was the general thought, and I'm going to stop talking.
Yeah, and I'll just kind of like it's Frank is willing and thankfully to go in and offer a few things while we're really trying to focus on the infrastructure. I know I've been threatening to do the infrastructure. I think everybody here remembers the outage of 2020 when a part of Nashville blew up, and then I was able to actually really take some time, get part of the infrastructure out of my house. That has made a huge difference. It's a little more expensive, but it also, you notice the game doesn't go down as often, and it's faster and it's more resilient. So that's been a huge lift. However, there are still some parts of the back end that I had to put a plug in. Primarily, number one being the actual running of the races, the drawing of the races. That everything else is pretty much on the front end now. All the claiming, the auctions. It's on the database. Let me rephrase that. I would be lying to say it's on the front end. It's on the back end. It's on the database. It's in the cloud. The running of the game is still fragile, and we know that. And I won't bore you to death, but there is an end of life date to some of the programs we use that we've already surpassed, and we really have to make a priority to get off of that deprecated software because we are potentially going to have problems if we don't. We'll just put it that way, quick problems.
Yep. So long story short, we're up against it, and we need to actually get it taken care of from a technological standpoint. So nothing that the player base needs to worry about, strictly on the both of us. And it's going to happen, again, sooner rather than later. Yeah. We did get a question, and this was from Led. It says, does the new viewer fractions indicate pace, or should we ignore those fractions?
It's pretty much, I'm pretty sure, like, as far as it's the same fractions we've seen. It's the game is split up fractions generally. It tries to guess pace. The game, I don't run the actual race second to second. I'm not when the race actually runs, it's very much more statistical than anything.
I think the best way to kind of explain it is that the race runs in the background, and the visualization that you see is simply that. It's the visualization of what the end result was. It's not like a one-for-one thing that you're seeing live or happen live, right? Basically the race is run, or the sim is run rather, and then the viewer is created based off of the algorithm the sim pushes out.
Yeah, and hopefully, the way that the numbers were and that the game creates are hopefully, the pace in those numbers is the pace, that is involved in the race. So technically you could say, the viewer's pace is fine. It equates to the way that the numbers are, but it's no different than looking at the pace numbers now.
Yeah, I would say this. You'd have, if you're going to do comparisons of pace, I wouldn't necessarily look at the numbers, the timing of, fractions and whatnot. To me, that's more aesthetic than anything else. I would look more at the actual horses in the race, see which ones, see how many typically go to the front, see how many typically sit in the middle, and or see how many typically, hang out at the back, and try to figure it out from there. That would be the starting point if you were trying to figure out pace. At least that's my take on it. Again,
yeah, that's fair. It's
might be wrong, but it's my take.
Yeah, the seconds in the race have always been a little squishy. As they are from track to track, week to week in real horse racing. The game is a little less, what would you say? It's less consistent race to race than maybe a real track would be, speed number to time. But as far as the pace, as far as the actual pace goes, generally the pace in the race is, if you see 4 or 5, if you've got a 7-horse race, and you watch the race, and at the first call, 4 of the horses are within a nose of each other, that's a fast pace. If you got one horse out in front, and he's up 2 or 3 lengths, and he's generally not a super fast horse. That's a slow pace.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I mean. Is kind of just paying attention to the history of what you're up against. It's almost kind of like doing your own little scouting report of such. And to be honest, if I'm being completely honest, I used to do this like religiously when I would enter into graded to figure out like, okay, I have a horse that I know is running fast, or that I know likes the lead. Let me look for a graded where none of these horses want to win, or not that they don't want to win. Sorry, that they don't want the lead. Excuse me. And to be honest with you, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But just kind of goes to show how good your horse may or may not be. So, yeah. Let's see. Taffy said she loves the dormant mares. Let's see, man. You guys are quiet tonight. I wonder, is chat not refreshing or are you guys just being quiet? Excuse me. So, yeah, that was our...
Everybody had a Colt 45 with you, Frank.
Apparently, I got too many beers in my little Yoda...
It's exploded.
Yeah, my little Yoda lunchbox that I stole from my son, my 4-year-old.
Badassery.
The one, the only.
This is a sign more giveaways are needed. Look at Squirrel coming in hot.
There you go. Squirrel's trying to get us going already. Man, we start doing the giveaways now. We'll be done by 9:20. It'll be a short stream. Yeah.
I'm not against giving more shit away.
Me neither.
If it'll get them talking, I'll give shit away.
Yeah. So let's do this then. Let's ask this question. Did anybody have any specific questions about the roadmap?
Yeah, that's a good call.
As far as like what we've announced, what's coming up, that sort of thing. Again, we're trying to be completely transparent about everything that we're working on, and the order that we're working on it in. I know there's been a lot of inquiries about residencies. And if I'm being completely honest, like residencies, they do and they don't work for a lot of reasons right now. But at the same time, we understand that they need to be revamped, which is why it was included as part of the roadmap. So
they're definitely, it's not, we've been trying to resolve residency issues for years. They are one of those things that are hard to prioritize at times. That's why with everything else. However, the nice thing is that I believe we've hit a point with residencies that once we get everything else infrastructurally done, that's a perfect time to work on residencies for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is because they're as fun as they are, they still have to rely on the game. But secondly, the infrastructure is going to be in such a place that as we write the infrastructure, we can make some of the changes, and I won't go into anything, but Frank and I battered around a few things that we'd like to add and change in residencies. Some of those opportunities will exist as we rewrite the code. If we start working on those changes now, we're literally just, we're building on something we're going to have to tear down very shortly anyway.
It doesn't make sense for us to jump in at this moment to, build something pretty much on wobbly legs.
Yeah.
And because it's like Mike said, it's just going to come right back down. But we had Maddie who said it'd be nice to see you both have an Aussie beer one session. Hey, give us some suggestions, man. I'm down. I'm always down for a different type of beer. Whatever you guys come up with, it's
actually it was funny because when I went to Kroger, which is one of the places I looked for the Colt 45, I didn't expect it to be there, but I did look, and they generally have a Foster's, and I was going to grab the Foster's because Foster's, let's be honest, that is not Australian for beer. Foster's is nobody's beer.
Really?
From what I understand, Australians, at least the ones I've talked to, don't even claim that beer. I'm not even sure that people in Australia drink it. I have no idea, but it's never been relatively claimed. But I was going to get one just to prove to you guys I will happily drink bad beer in your honor. However, that was not the case because it was out too. So I ended up with probably the cheapest beer I could find was just a Modelo, which is a good cheap beer. So
number 1 beer right now, right? Didn't they?
Yeah,
didn't they
it's solid. So that's what I'm drinking.
What was I gonna say? Maddie says no, please don't drink that rubbish. Perfect. Well, Maddie, send us some suggestions, and we'll definitely. I'll look out. I'll be on lookout for in Florida, and Mike can look out in Tennessee.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if you saw it, but I think somebody actually leased this horse. I think it was an Aussie. I put a horse out for leasing and for my eTesque stable, and the horse's name was Kangaroo Pouch Beer because I was having a discussion with somebody years ago about Foster's, and I forget who it was. But somebody in the game, it was an Aussie, said it was like it's like they brewed it in a kangaroo pouch. So like I went ahead and but yeah, somebody leased the horse. So good luck for them.
All right, we got one more comment here from Lucky Rabbi. Says, I have tried the new viewer, but it seems slow on the computer, and I can't get the viewer to work on a tablet.
Huh.
That might be...
the tablet may not surprise me. It should be relatively fast on the computer. It depends on your specs.
I was just going to say your specs and what drivers you have in your computer, because I know when I do driver updates on my side, and I have a super high powered computer, but when I do the driver updates, it'll automatically slow down the viewer for me if I don't restart my computer. As crazy as that sounds. So it's I would check your drivers. I don't know if you have NVIDIA on your computer or anything like that, but it's a good call out.
Yeah.
You think there's an app? Yeah, we did have the app. That's something we have to get back to. But
the iPhone?
Yeah, because with the tablet and the iPhone and what have you.
Yeah, I got to look into that. It fell off. Apparently, maybe I didn't pay my bill. I don't know. It was most of that work was done by obviously the guy that wrote the viewer, who's does great work. But obviously he had to let me go. He had to let me fly. He didn't let me go, but he had to let me fly on my own. And I think I may have forgotten to add a credit card to the iPhone, or they may have updated the rules or something. But I'll need to look back into it. It is we need to put that on the roadmap probably, just to make sure it gets. Or I'll try to remember it. But yeah, we'll get back to it. I promise.
Yep. All right. So, any questions about anything in the game? We won't even limit it to what we were originally talking about. We're just trying to generate some buzz right now. Rabbi said, I tried to download the app, but it never did. Tablet is a fire. Okay. Yeah, it's probably has something to do with the App Store.
Yeah.
We'll get back around to it. Let's see. BK says, drinking a Kona Big Wave Golden Ale. I see that in the grocery store all the time. I've never had a Golden Ale. I've never had a Big Wave. I gotta try that. That's one of those I gotta get.
Yeah. I've had one. It's fine.
Yeah, nothing special.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh no, I can't think of any special beers anymore.
So I got. This is basically turning into a stream about beers and not the game. But I had gotten. Last weekend, I had gotten a beer called Meteorite, Galaxy Meteorite, I think is what it was called. I'd have to look at it again, but it was called Meteorite. And that might be the best beer I've ever had. It was legit good. Nice little hazy IPA in a pint. It was real good.
I'm not a hazy IPAs man.
All right, well.
Not my jam.
Let's see. Cosmo for Taffy today. All right. At least we got folks drinking. Is everybody drinking tonight, or are we just all hanging out on a Wednesday night? It's Hump Day.
Yep. It is Hump Day.
Where did Donnie go, by the way? Donnie's around.
I don't know. I think Desperado scared him off.
Oh, I do have a couple of questions actually, because UK woman sent me a bunch of questions.
Oh, okay. A bunch, all right.
Yeah, she sent me a bunch.
She's
an
old timer. Well, let me rephrase that. I wasn't going to call her an old timer. I don't know that for sure. She's a long timer in the game. So,
all right, let's see. All right, so she asked the first question. She asked, actually, you know what? Let me ask Donnie's question first. He said only you were going to understand this, Mike. So he said,
okay.
I wanted to ask Mike if he knows what happened to Mayor McCheese.
What happened to Mayor? I think he's still around. Right. Was he the? No, Grimace was the one that was like big pimping recently, wasn't he? So yeah, I don't really have like a Mayor McCheese shout out. Mayor McCheese is kind of dope though.
There you go. So, you got.
I love Mayor McCheese, man. Of all the the 7 rowdy Ronald McDonald pals, Mayor McCheese was the badass one. So.
All right, that was especially for you, Donnie. All right, so
first, I don't know what really happened to Mayor McCheese. This is a what do you call it? CSI Louisville episode.
So first question from UK woman was, when are we going to have jump racing in the sim? This was
no
mooted. I won't even finish the question then. So no.
I mean, honestly, it's one of those things where you
have to rewrite the engine.
I don't know shit about jump racing. I'll be honest with you. So I just don't. We could put it in, but it would
It
be
would be
just
a nightmare. I don't know
it would
anything about it
be
either.
it would just first off, it wouldn't be in the viewer for obvious reasons. Secondly, it would just be a guess.
Yeah,
Pretty
she
much,
mentions that too, by the way. She mentions that the viewer would be obviously difficult to adjust for. So,
yeah, I'll tell you. You know what? I will at least talk for like half a minute to 45 seconds about what I would do if we did jump racing. First off, I would probably like
burn the
if
sim
your horse
down.
can't run 2.5 miles, or if your horse can't run 2 miles, you're just gonna suck.
Just going to
And,
walk through bushes is what you're going to do.
Yeah, at that point, it's I wouldn't even I don't know anything about jump racing. There was a time this goes back early days. I think it was Lord Pye was trying to get me to write a harness sim. Him and somebody else were hardcore into it, and then somebody was trying to get me to write a dog racing sim. I was like, I don't know shit. It's like all I remember about dog racing, I went to Flagler one time, and all I remember is like they had the dogs loaded in the gate, and all it was like, yipe, 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 yipe. It was like, this was awful. I wanted nothing to do with that.
I can't hear that sound. That's not for me. All right,
It was egregious. It was awful.
We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna skip. Well, I'll come back to UK women's questions, but I want to get some questions in the chat too.
Sure.
Excuse me. So we got our Whisper who asked, has there been any changes to horses coming back injured or extended rest? I seem to be getting lots more than I used to.
Huh.
It's because I'm
It
Nancy.
hasn't been. I mean, I can at least look at it, but there hasn't been. You may just be hitting a bad stretch. But
Yeah, I mean, it might be that I've visited your barns, our Whisper, and gone Nancy Kerrigan on or Tanya Harding on all of your horses. No, just kidding. Yeah, so nothing's changed as far as that's concerned.
yeah, you may have just hit a bad lull. I mean, it happens. I mean, it's kind of like, it's just a game like this, especially a game like anything, is a numbers game.
Yeah.
And if you hit, I mean, you can roll like, you could roll 3 20s in a row in Dungeons and Dragons, which is it's pretty hard to do, but it can happen. So, I mean, you're just probably hitting a bad luck.
Just a bad stretch. I got to call out Skippy real quick because he's drinking Bush Light. God bless your heart, Skippy. And we got
My man.
Dunville Downs says, I struggle to find races for my 4-year-olds if they're decent but not great horses. Does anyone have any thoughts or suggestions?
High claims.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I run a lot of 4-year-olds in claimers. Whether that's right or wrong, most of them don't get claimed if they're high enough.
Yeah.
And they compete.
I would say this particularly, if a couple of things. I mean, now if it's a female horse and you want to breed it, obviously that's a different animal. From a male horse,
if you got blue blood lines, I wouldn't drop any blue blood free range into whether. I mean, the only blue blood that I would ever drop, and this is coming from a player perspective, the only blue blood that I would ever drop into claimers is one that I gelded.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say is even then it's like drop if you have a male horse you're considering to put in claimers, geld it before you put it in claimers.
Yeah.
I mean, straight up. That's just the thing to do. And then it loses all viability to anyone else at that point other than racing. So, yeah, but if it's a female horse, it does become a little bit of an issue. But there are so many. It'll be interesting to see how particularly the Mayor leasing is going to change some of the people just kind of like claiming a lot of horses. Because you can go out right now. The Mayor leasing is actually proven to be a relatively affordable avenue to pick up some claimers. It's not claimers, well-bred horses.
Yeah.
So, 200, 300 points, you can get some of the best mares in the game. And, sure, you can go spend 300 points and have a mare for a lifetime out of a claim race. But really, are you going to get much out of that likely versus getting, some of these horses that I've seen out here that already have like 40 or 50 dam ratings you can get for 300. I mean, there's a lot of good horses in that leasing, more than I expected. It's really been a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, and I mean, tons and tons of quality. I mean, you guys know me. If you hear me in Slack or you see me on the forums, I'm always preaching value and that there's a ton of it out there and that we just, as players kind of overlook a lot of things, myself included. there is a shit ton of value out there, whether it's in mare leasing, whether it's in dormant mares / open mares, whether it's in claimers, whether it's in the auction. There is a lot of value out there. You just got to have an eye for it and, take a chance, basically, is kind of what it rolls out to.
And what we're seeing with the leasing is actually something we talked about before it went live, is that there are some players that have been around the game for so long. I'm looking at you, Taffy. But you've been around the game so long, and you have so many good mares for so long, and you have such a good breeding stock, but it's hard to consistently get enough value from the sires because you have to earn so many points, is that you can't always breed those well-bred mares to 1,000-point sire because you just can't earn points that fast. So that's where you're seeing Taffy is a great example of somebody that's putting really good mares out there. And I'm going to guess, and correct me if I'm wrong, Taffy, you're just thinking, hey, if I can get 300 or 400 for this mare, I can take that for those points and use it with another mare and get a well-bred, a really horse that I want. So if I'm wrong about that, but it's really has opened up a new market. I've really been happy with what we've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean, and again, even from a player perspective, it's been really well balanced. It's not that there's any one player out there dominating the market or anything like that. I know there was a concern that the older player, the one who has the higher, the built up mare pool, was going to be the one who really benefited out of this. And to this point, that has not been the case. There's been a lot of buying across a lot of different barns. Yeah, I mean, there are some barns that are doing better than others, but for the most part, it's pretty well balanced.
And again, the nice thing is too is that even if some of these old barns do have more horses, as you expect them to, the thing is, and this is why this all started. Dan and Lenny were two of the ones, because they have so many mares, and they were like, we have too many mares, we can't use them all. So they give other people an opportunity to use mares that they may not be able to get quickly. And in turn, it helps them breed other mares. So it's kind of a win-win for both sides. So it's been really, it's been, like I said, it's, it helps everybody. So I've been pretty happy so far.
So Skip had a comment on that, on the mare leasing. He said, currently you must drop your price down to 100 BPs on leased mares from your price listed. Could you think of doing a lower number than listed and not have to drop all the way down to 100 BPs, but never increase your initial price? Sometimes people find that they may have listed their mini too high to get bids, especially with this being new. Yeah, I think
it's been discussed. It may happen eventually. The good thing to remember, I mean, this is a twofold thing. Is as you mentioned, is especially early on, it is new.
Oh, fuck.
People are learning. So people probably, and it makes sense, they probably thought they had a little more than they had. They listed a little too high. It's not getting any bids. Particularly, they're also competing against people who are coming in with some really well-bred mares that are listing low. So I see the point. At least the way I want to see it play out eventually, I'll consider this. It will take it. That's where I would have to start dicking around with the code. And right now I'm trying to avoid that. But the good news is, if there's a positive, it's that you do not have to accept any bid. Right. And if anything, the 100 will get you more bids. And like I said, the other thing is about there's a gamesmanship. Tell people, shit, you can lie to them. If you get 3 bids out there and all of them are 100, tell somebody, oh, I got one for 250. What do you want to go 275? Or I like you. I got one for 250, but you're my buddy. I'll sell it for you to 200. So pull the used car sale trick out on it.
Yeah, the old bait and switch. The other thing too is keep in mind too, dropping or even just listing at 100, right? If you have a really, really good mare, market value is going to show up. I mean, I've seen it. I've literally seen people list for 100 and get 600 BPs for a horse, or for a mare rather. So it's out there. It's whatever the community is willing to pay, to be honest with you. So I almost feel like listing high is a little bit of a detriment to the player, but at the same time, if you list high and someone's like, you know what, fuck it, I want to pay 200 BPs or 2,000 BPs, I'm going to grab it.
Yeah,
there you go. You got your price right off the rip.
Yeah, I mean that is the nice thing is that the market is so open right now. Really, if you list too high, you're not going to get bids. I'm going to guess, and correct me if I'm wrong. People that use this on the regular is that people are generally looking, particularly by horse potential. They're looking by dam rating, and they're looking at the number of bids. And if you take those in reverse order, you know what? It doesn't matter if you've listed it for 100 or 1,000. I mean, it would keep you from bidding at that point if it's 1,000. But at 100, a guy that has a high H pot horse with a high dam rating, I don't care if he listed 100 or 500. I mean, he's going to get bids.
Yeah. Sorry, you can hear me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I
couldn't while you were wheeling around. I don't know what you were doing.
I did
vacuuming or whatever the hell you're up to.
I went to go grab another beer, and the cord to my headset was wrapped around my chair, and it disconnected me, so I couldn't hear a damn thing.
If you guys notice, I've got on a new headset this weekend. Not that you would care, because this is actually the brother of the old headset I had, Lost Coast. But yeah, I bought both of these headsets refurbished for $25 each from GameStop about 4 or 5 years ago, and I did exactly what Frank did. I was on the phone and I rolled back too hard and I bent the pin as it pulled out, and there's no way I was going to stick it back in there. So I broke my last headset. So we got a new boy, old boy, same as new boy.
I can't pour a beer to save my life. I literally was just thinking to myself, "Oh, you're going to get through one without spilling it," and who's
a big boy?
It's not a big boy. No, he's not. Let's see. So I'm going to go back to UK women's questions because I want to get through those real quick, and then we can jump back in the chat.
UK woman.
There it is.
She's got all the questions.
Says, for clarification, you have said that sharp is always good, but how good as relates to training horses for specific dates? If a horse has been trained for 8 weeks away and comes up sharp after 2 weeks, is it better to run them as soon as they are sharp or keep training them for the original date? I'm assuming this is directed at me and some of the comments that I've made.
I would say this sharp is there's like with anything in the game, there's a range. There is a range in sharp. Okay. It's a pretty narrow range. Sharp is a narrow range. Ready to go is a much larger range. So if you're sharp, you're pretty sharp. That's why I say if you feel good about where you're going to place your horse, sharp is sharp is sharp. Are some sharps better than other sharps? Yeah, this is a numbers game. I mean, it's just like real life, and it's nothing like real life in that regard. But, it's going to be you might be 99% for something versus 100% for something. Is it going to affect your outcome? It theoretically could. In practice, it's probably not going to with all the other elements involved. So sharp is sharp. This sharp, generally speaking, is the way I look at it. The other things, from a sharp perspective, sharp is the least of my concerns if I was going to place a horse. Wear and tear is a big concern. That's the thing. If you're placing a horse comes up 2 weeks sharp, sure, you can run him. And then he comes up 2 weeks sharp again. Sure, you can run him, but you're going to wear him out,
Yep. And again, I'll say this, right? Because I know there's some folks out there, and I know people do this with claimers. I do it with claimers. Running them every 2 weeks.
Yeah, wear them the fuck out, man. Yeah. Wear those claimers out.
Exactly. If you don't think you have anything talented, it doesn't matter. Let it earn PPs for you. Like that's the way it works. At least that should be the mentality. Like Mike said, sharp is sharp to a certain extent, but I would say depending on the level that you're racing, right? Like, so if you're racing allowance, I wouldn't be running every 2 weeks. I wouldn't be running every 3 weeks. I probably wouldn't be running every 4 weeks. Again, depending on how old the horse is and what it is you're trying to accomplish with that horse, or what you think the horse can accomplish, is really it really what it boils down to is you setting a roadmap for the horse itself, like where you think where you want the horse to go. And I know everybody wants their horses to go to greatness right off rip, but that's not realistic. So like seeing everything that you see on the track and then making an observation and an assessment from there is kind of what I would suggest. I mean, for me personally, 2-year-olds are always 6 to 8 weeks. 3-year-olds, I always go, especially at the allowance level, 5 to 6. 4-year-olds, I feel like you can get away with a little bit more at 4 weeks. But even then, 4-year-olds and above, I still typically try to shoot out for 5 weeks. And that's just because I feel like, and again, there's no proof to this. I just feel like that level change that Mike just mentioned, the little narrowness, I feel like that's for me. I feel like it's a deal breaker.
Yeah, and it's theoretically, I would say this in theory, if you keep training a horse for a date and you kind of hyper, on that date, he's more likely to end up super sharp. Yes. Is he 100% guaranteed to be better on that date than he was? I would put it in a pretty high percentage, but sharp is generally pretty sharp. Horses will get better the longer you train them, and the longer the longer they have a chance to narrow in on their training date. There's a little bit of a variance there. So yeah, technically, if you want to hit every bell and whistle, and you want your horse to be as good as possible, training for a long period of time, at least several weeks, the 3-4 weeks better, 5-6 better than that. Get him really there. Now the thing is, though, and this is where it goes down to it, is like you still got to worry about every other horse in the race. You still have to worry about, how's the track going to come up? Those are things that are out of your control. And they are, at the end of the day, a lot more important than the difference between being super mega ultra sharp and being really kind of good and sharp. So, yeah, I mean, if you hit that, if you feel pretty good and confident 5 weeks in instead of 8, and you're like, you know what, I think I can win this race. This race feels better than the one that I was training for. Then I would say fire on that.
Yeah, and again, it's a matter of perspective, right? Because some guys, listen, the Dans, the Lennys of the world, they have a really, really, really good feel for this game. Like a lot of folks, I read in the forums, and I don't respond to everything, but I do read everything. I read in the forums the other day that somebody said that the game is 2% skill. It's not true. Not even close to true. The game.
All you have to do is look at there's some people winning 3 and 4% of the races, and some people winning like 30% of the races.
Donnie wins 40. Donnie Baseball wins 40% of his races. How
does Donnie Baseball win that much? That guy ain't that smart.
Well, he's been paying me on the side, so but no, again, there is skill involved, right? And it's really a matter of what you do with your horses and where you put them, where you place them. And again, a lot of us, myself included, have super high expectations on horses, on every horse, and we tend to run them in allowance races a lot longer than they should be there. We tend to run them in higher claimers a lot longer than they should be there when they just don't show you anything, or even at distances where it doesn't make sense, or like the horse is just not doing what it should, right? So, but I'm going to finish up what's her name's question, UK woman's question here, because
what's her name? Oh, what's her name?
Yeah, I'm gonna get Lim. She's gonna roast my ass for that.
Good.
She said, also, if I set them to train for a specific date, I know that they should be sharp for at least 6 days before and after. But how much does the training date matter? Does it make a difference if they are run on the scheduled date or scheduled training date a few days before or after it, within the training schedule or outside the training schedule, as long as they are sharp?
Yeah, I mean, once you get in that 6-day range, your horse is not going to change. He can only get better. He can't get worse. Yep. So look on it that way. Can he get a whole lot better? No, because especially if you train him 6-7 weeks out, he's probably going to be as sharp as he's going to get. I mean, I'm talking like fractions of a percent. I'm literally talking the difference between like, the jockey like taking a drink of water before he gets on the horse and running,
Yeah. So, all right. So we got to catch up with chat because there's a shit ton of questions that I have not gotten to because we
finally broke the seal.
Yeah, we did. We got into a conversation about something game related. So, Beer Keg says Donnie's off celebrating Hump Day. Yes,
that's not game related. Fuck Donnie Baseball.
Right. Fuck you, Donnie. See that? I said it to you in chat earlier. But
I beat you to it.
You did. You got me that time. Listen, I'm proud of you because
got him.
Because you know what, man? You shit on me the last time I told Donnie to fuck off. So,
I know.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know why. Donnie was defending me, so I'd retort. Donnie Baseball is awesome. Desperado was the one that's besmirching my excellence.
I was just gonna say you're about to get your ass jumped by Donnie Baseball and Desperado. So, all right. So Smithy Stable said, with the rewrite, will there be more options for game data extraction via Excel?
Yes, hopefully. The good news is, and this is really game data extraction is something that I want to offer even more openly than I do now. But you can. I don't know if you have access. We can get you access to the FTP, or there's some way that I don't even remember.
Yeah,
who knows, whatever.
Denuvo. Yeah. Denuvo has all the links.
Denuvo's the man. So yeah, if you have questions, there are some data options. Ultimately, what I would really love to do, and this is 2 years down the road, is literally like almost offer you guys like an API of some sort to get data you want, like a live streaming API. If you really wanted to get it in, I wouldn't say real time, but download it sporadically through the day, upload it, run your own site, run your own claim finders, run everything. I really want to give all that data to everyone. The original game, and I'm going to, I'll just, this game goes back 25 years. I literally ran it off of flat files for years in flat file database. I put it in a database, but it's also written in ASP Classic. Ultimately, now with the cloud, with everything being as cheap as it is from a download and a storage perspective, I want to give you guys as much opportunity to get as much information from the game as you're willing to take from it. So yes, 100%. It will take time, but yes, that is not only on the agenda. It is, kind of like we were talking about transparency. That's part of it.
Yep. Releasing that information and really like in a much more detailed YOS setting.
Even more so. I mean, right,
it's like YOS was good. Whatever. I can't remember who built it, but YOS was
Yoakum, my man.
That's what his name was. That was very well done. I made an attempt at doing something like that a while back, and it petered out because I needed to start granting permission requests and everything else, and I wasn't interested in doing all that. So but yeah, no, it's like that's the route that we're ultimately going. So looking at it from a reporting standpoint, in a sense.
In a perfect world, what I would love to do is really give you guys so much information. If you guys want to run off and like write your own tools, make them public, you want to get credits, I don't care. I want the game to grow as big and as robust as possible. And I know that locking down information has been a challenge for the players. I've tried to give you guys some access. I really want to, except for the guts of especially the horses, kind of like, right, the actual, like, your horse can do this, this, and this. That information, of course, has to be locked down. But every other piece of information I have, I would love to give to the players. And part of that will be in the rewrite. I will give as much as I can, as long as it doesn't hurt the integrity of the actual game.
Yep. And I have all the secrets on a floppy disk that Mike gave me from when he first coded the game. So, if you're interested, I can send it your way.
Good luck figuring it out, because when I've been looking at the code that I've rewrote 25 years ago that I'm trying to rewrite now. Jesus, I have no idea what I was up to.
Yeah,
I actually used to know math 25 years ago.
Truth be told, I went in to look at something math related on the game the other day, and I started reading the formula, and I literally said out loud, "Fuck this," and I just closed it.
I'm literally, like, when I'm going in, because I've been trying to prepare for this huge rewrite, particularly of the race code, which is obviously the guts of this thing. It takes me hours to decode lines. I mean, I'm not saying I was a great mathematician, but I was so hyper focused on this game, and I was so much more into math formulas at the time. It made sense, like, organically to me and logistically. And now I'm 25 years later, older, drunker, more busted liver. It's not working.
I think I got you beat because I just almost grabbed my microphone to take a swig. So.
But all right. There's a lot in this, so I'm not too concerned. No offense to you, Frank. I'm not concerned about you figuring it out, because I wrote it and I'm having trouble figuring it out.
Oh, no, trust me. I can't figure this shit out. And that's what I said. Like, I've told people this time and time again. Like, I can see the code. I have no fucking clue what's going on. It's just, I mean, I know the math, obviously. Like, I can figure the math out, but there's so much of it in there that, like, I don't want to. It would take me days to figure out one race if I really wanted to. I have no interest in doing that.
If you guys are interested, and we only have like 7 people show up for this Twitch, once we get the new game rewritten and some of the the blood and guts behind it. I can't obviously show you guys everything, but I'd love to walk through some stuff and really nerd out with a few people that are
show them the old stuff. Show them the
no. Actually, I don't even have the old stuff, the original stuff, and I think not everyone here knows this, but yeah, at least Taffy may be privy to this. Anybody that's been around, like Squirrel, maybe, yeah. But the original game up until 1999 was written in Excel.
Yeah, you have to get that like printed out and like bronzed or something.
Oh yeah, but that's the two problems we hit when I had to rewrite parts of the game. The original game was written in Excel, and I was running out of lines in the Excel spreadsheet because you used to have a limit on Excel spreadsheet lines. And I was running out of lines, so I had to rewrite it in VB6.
God.
So I rewrote it in VB6, and then I had to rewrite it in VB 2012 with MySQL because we were hitting the million race mark, and I never knew there was going to be a million races in this, so I kind of hard-coded that it couldn't go over a million races. I was like, oh, shit, we're going to hit a million races. I got to rewrite everything.
Oh, God. I can only imagine. I'm glad I was like 5 when that happened.
Man, fuck you. Fuck you, Frank.
There it is. Yes. It took 6-7 months, but I got it.
Got him.
Let's see. We got D Money Schaefer says, how does a new player even make it without a huge struggle or buying a bunch of credits? There's a ton of great people in the Slack chat that help a lot.
Yeah. And that's where it's hard. I mean, but it's going to be...
I'll put it in perspective.
It's hard in any game. I mean...
I was a new player.
I'll let you start, and then I'll chime in.
Sorry, I don't mean to jump over you, but I was a new player in 2018, and to be honest with you, I thought I was going to be king shit at this game, and I went into this and I thought thinking like, you know what, I'm not going to spend a dime. I'm going to do whatever it is that I think I need to do to compete and so on and so forth. And ultimately, what I learned was it wasn't that I had to spend money. I just had to be smarter with what I did. Right, like I had to really pay attention to the horses I bought in the auction. I had to really pay attention to the horses I claimed, right? Because I needed to get an ROI. I need to get a return on investment for the BPs. That's where the money in the game lies. Yeah, is it slow starting out as a new player? Absolutely. Is it a challenge? Is it a grind? Yeah, that's part of the fun. That's actually the whole build up to becoming one of the better players. To where, yeah, you can buy a Tap It whenever you want. Yeah, you can buy it into Mischief or. Frankel or Dabawi or whoever, like that's kind of the point, right? Like is you build up your stables, you get to a certain point, and that's the progression of the game. That's what that's what at least sold it for me. Can you speed it up with credits? Yeah, but at the same time, credits are very, very controlled compared to BPs, and they're controlled in the sense that you can only buy so many shares a year on credits, whereas BPs it's much, much different.
Yeah. And I would say this with I'll say a couple of things. You're 100% right. However, this is kind of a unique game in this regard, is that not many games have been online as long as we have. No, we're 25 years. So there are people that have been playing this game 25 years. There are a lot of people that have been playing this game 10 or 15 years. And they do, over time, of course, they get an advantage because they do have the mayors. They have the pool to lean back on. They have a history. They understand the game. It is hard for a new user. I think part of that, and I've tried to, when I play, I go in and I'll play for like a few weeks, sometimes a couple months at a time, and really kind of try to understand things. I play at a very low level when I do. I play very cheap horses. I focus on auctions. I focus on claims. It's a standard. You have to kind of like be realistic about, as a new player, how to come in. That said, you're not wrong on one. Well, you're not wrong, but you're also scratching at a surface that actually makes a lot of sense. Is that I can do a better job, particularly with the rewrite, of at least maybe not leveling up the new player to put them up against the guy that's been here for 20 years. That's unrealistic and it's not fair. But kind of give them almost the thing that you see a lot with games where it's like, once you do a few things, it's like, oh, you did this. Now you get this bonus. here's some ways you may want to look at these points. Oh, you get these cards.
Like hand.
I can kind of like do that hand holding in the game that I haven't done. The game has this really stems back from when I wrote it. I didn't expect the game to ever be anything other than me and like a handful of people, dicking around with a couple of horses. We've grown a lot larger. It's been a lot longer. It's grown a lot bigger. I really would like to help some new players, not just for ourselves. It's like, honestly, horse racing is a sport. It's hard to crack into. You see it at the track. People shit on fucking people that come into the track out of nowhere. A guy's trying to learn horse racing. The guy's been there 25 years, shits all over him, and he never wants to go back to the track. Yep. I would really like to make this almost like an entry, give people an opportunity to understand horse racing a little bit.
Come up with a mentor with horse
racing. Yeah. Just kind of like almost make it like an entry level to this is a sport that's,
I mean, again,
admittedly, that's kind of like what we like to do.
We could reach out to, some of the, longer tenured players, right? And just say, hey, are you interested in being a mentor for a new player who comes on?
That's a great idea.
And basically just, hey, assign you to a new person or assign you to a mentor and you're off and running. And, again, to D Money Schaefer's point, right? Like, you do get a lot of help from the Slack chat. You do get a lot of help from, the forums. If you PM me directly, I typically give horses away, like, out of my own stables. I'll scratch breed for folks. I'll, do whatever it takes because I want people to feel welcome. Again, I know Mike does too. I know most of the community does. Like, we want people to stick around. Like, that's kind of the concept here is we want to grow.
But you're not wrong. I think that's the thing is that I need to do a better job, especially as we try to rewrite parts of the game. Yep. I need to do a better job to make new players feel a little more welcome, give them a little more encouragement and guidance. But also at the same time, it's a matter of being realistic with your, not every horse person, even with, if you're willing to spend a few $100,000s a year in horse racing, you're still going to be racing in claimers in real life. Yeah. You're not going to be banging up against Dwayne Lucas or is he even a trainer anymore? You're not going to be banging up against Todd Pletcher. We'll put it that way.
Well, even then, hit me or Mike up when you first get started. And, again, we're more than happy to help, whether it's just logically speaking, whether it's, getting you started with good horses, because we understand that the auction horses do kind of suck. But at the end of the day, like if we can help you, we will, because we want you to stick around. We don't want you to run off and, we don't want you to play one day and say, you know what, my horse ran 10th out of 11 and, I'm never coming back because I thought he had a real shot. That's not what we're interested in. We want you to feel welcome. We want you to feel like you have a shot at winning, which you do in some capacity. So,
by the way, my bandwidth is low. I'm not sure what that means, but I have a feeling that I may be coming in choppy. Okay.
You were earlier, but you've been good ever since. You've been good for a while. So,
all right. Gotcha.
We have, let's see. Tabby says buy races. Amir said Frank knows he lost the Camelot mare last weekend. I did.
Uh-oh.
That shows you how much I cared about that Camelot if I lost it. Beer Keg said
his butt hurt, Amir. Don't let him act like it didn't hurt him. He's been complaining about that all week.
Oh God. I think I know exactly who you're talking about. I was probably running it on dirt. Beer Keg said, who'd be dumb enough to gel the blue blood? I can think of a few folks, BK, starting with you. Let's see. D Money Shaver said, the only reason I ask, I am trying to get some of my friends into the game. I don't expect easy mode, but running a ton of horses and not winning a race is discouraging. No, that's, again, back to that point.
You're right.
100% agreeing.
You're right.
Come to us. Come to tenured players in the game. We'll try to help you out and get you set up.
Yeah.
Best way I can explain it. And Mike, you can shit all over that if you want.
No. It's we want new players in the game, and I think the thing is about the players we have is especially the ones that have stuck around. And again, it's usually because they are gluttons for punishment. It's like, I haven't done a good job of making. It's a yin and a yang. It's there are people that have hung around, and they are going to be hard to beat because they've been here 20 some years, and it's a unique game in that regard. Even games like some of the games that you play online, especially with the phones, is that they'll reset after a year. It's like, oh, well, now you play a new version and you start all over. Right. You don't start over here. So obviously, anyone that's been here a while, it's going to be hard to catch them.
But you can.
It's a matter of having realistic expectations. Yeah, you can. but also it's have fun. I mean, ultimately at the end of the day, horse racing in general, horse racing is a sport that I fell in love with cheap horses. I went to the track. I love the 2,000 or more like $4,000 claimers at Churchill, 3,500, 3,000 to $5,000 claimers, $10,000 claimers. But you can win with those horses. You can have a good time. Is it the same as like having a horse and winning the Derby? Your miles vary. I mean, you try to have fun with what you got. And you just have to be realistic about your experience.
I'll be honest. The first race I ever won was a claimer, and I lost my shit when I won it. So it was exciting for me. It was fun. It was super enjoyable, and it makes and to kind of put it in perspective, it makes the journey of getting to those higher level wins that much sweeter, in my opinion.
But you are right. Is I can do a better job again, and that's where the rewrite comes in. And something that we've been wanting to do for years. The rewrite comes in, and I really do want to make this, like I said, is you can't take the new player and put them on the level with the players who've been here 20 years. It's not realistic. It's not fair. But you can level them up quickly and make them at least a little bit more competitive and give them a little bit more success, give them opportunities for success than I've done in the past.
Yeah. And I mean, I think a lot of that could just even boil down to sire shares or something along those lines to get them started, and again, discussion for a much lengthier discussion down the road. Taffy says, at least go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, but these are the kinds of things as we get closer, particularly to the website rewrite. Yeah. There's 2 levels, 3 levels, it's a multi-layer game, multi-level marketing here. We're selling essential oils and snake oil here, but no, we have to get the infrastructure right. Once the infrastructure is right, everything becomes a lot easier to write on the front end, and that's where we can start rewriting parts of the front end, make the user experience, especially things like Dunville said earlier, make some of the sorting and things like that easier, make the user experience better, and that should get more people in. But at the same time, these kind of concerns to get a new user, almost even like we were saying is. Almost make it like maybe even close off parts of the game to say, you know what, right now you're working with these tools. And then once you hit this, give them an opportunity for success with these tools and then open up a few more, almost like limit races to say new users that, we'll figure it out. But I mean, you're not wrong. 100% agree. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. You said something and I was going to comment on it and I can't remember exactly what it was, so I'm just going to go ahead and ignore that itching feeling in my head right now.
You lost that itching feeling.
Taffy said, I leased the majority of my mares for 100 points to spread the wealth. Yeah, but again, you make 50 BPs off of every single one you lease, and there's nothing wrong with that. That was kind of the concept. That was the goal, is we wanted folks to be able to make something at a minimum. Right. Mm-hmm. And if you can't make something at a minimum, we did kind of roll back on what the initial plan was going to be, where nobody could lease the horse. But at the end of the day, we, based on some user feedback, obviously, and also the decisions that we made were, we're not going to, penalize the player for getting the horse back. You just can't release. So, again, it's meant to help both sides of it. Right. And these are options that didn't exist a few weeks ago to new players. New players now have...
Or to anyone ever at all.
Right, exactly. New players now have a huge advantage. I mean, I didn't have this advantage when I first started playing. I had to wait for open mares. And even then, I missed my first year on open mares because I had no fucking clue what it was. And I didn't find out what it was until, I think, Cadet told me in chat by accident. So...
And, like you said, I hadn't even thought about that from a new player perspective. The one thing I can say, and you mentioned it, we have a lot of older players that are setting, like Taffy, setting on a lot of good mares. You can't breed them all, and they have most of the people in here, especially if they've been around 15, 20 plus years, 10 years even, 5 years. They want to see the game grow. They want new players to stick. They want to be helpful. And, the Mayor leasing is a great example. Again, not to keep breaking my hand, patting ourselves on the back here, Frank. But, the Mayor leasing is something that I think is turning out to be an even better tool in a lot of ways that I hadn't anticipated, because it does, like you said, give a new player a chance, where you have an old player that's like, you know what, you're in the chat, I like you, I have this mare, I'll lease this to you for 100 BPs.
It's opened up a world of possibilities. And the one thing that it's really done, at least from what I've heard through the different channels and different folks sending me messages, is it's opened up communication across the community, right? Folks are PMing each other on the forums. They're PMing each other on Slack. They're talking via email. They're talking through their own residency forums. Like, communication is up, in other words, right? Like, because there's some backdoor deals being made, which we fully expected to happen, right?
That's the way it should be.
Exactly. We don't give a shit about that, right? The only thing we care about is if somebody somehow finds a way to exploit something we've put in.
Yeah.
At that point in time, report it to us. But if you're talking to somebody behind closed doors and someone has a bid out for 500, but you already talked to somebody and told them you were going to give it to them for 300, and you give it to them for 300, there's no harm, no foul there. Like, that's just what you agreed to.
And that's why we keep the bids private. I mean, ultimately, you guys are going to do what you're going to do. And as we said, there's some people that just simply do not want to lease to other people. I realize that they have their own reasons. More power to you.
Yep.
And there's some people that are that like, let's just be honest. People like some people more than others. They're going to be like, I would sell that for 50 BPs less to them. So, but I just don't need to get involved in the whole, like, I bid 17 more BPs, just.
We don't care. Honestly,
we don't care.
You could send us the messages.
We want you guys to have a good time. Is really what it comes down to.
Absolutely. And again, I've gotten a few of those messages, and I'll be honest, my response has pretty much been, that's how we want it to work. We want folks to be able to have.
If you want to get better deals, if you want to be the guy getting the good deals instead of bidding too much and not getting good deals, don't be an asshole.
Exactly.
Be a better person. Be nice to people. It really is pretty easy.
I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. You sound like me.
I have no idea who's PMing you, so
I know.
If I just shit on somebody in this chat room, I totally apologize. I'm just joking.
No. I've kept it close to the vest. I've kept it close to the vest. I don't. Some things I keep away from you so I don't annoy the shit out of you. But it's like I said, it does come up. It's not a big deal. We don't give a shit. It's whatever you guys want to do. We're trying to give the players as much flexibility as possible. We're gonna move on to the next question.
Yep.
Dunville Down says, are most of the mares being leased A, B, or C? Actually, a lot of D's and E's.
Yeah. There are not many F's and G's going.
No. I think E is pretty much the cutoff to this point.
E is probably a pretty rough cutoff. The thing is you'll see some really well-bred mares with H-Pot. I'm assuming we're talking H-Pot here.
Yeah.
There are some really good mares, H-Pot, E. But E and D, you'll see, especially ones that haven't been bred before. But F and G, you're getting pretty rough. So
Yeah.
But they're all over the place, and it's going to come down to what people list it and what people accept it. And H-Pot is a decent estimate. I may come up with one more estimate, but H-Pod is decent. So.
Yeah, H-Pod is pretty good. It got shit on by Cadet, cough, because I just saw you in the stream at first, but then as he saw it in its, as he saw it working, he started to change his tune on it. So kudos to Cadet on that. But it is H-Pod, and again, that's a fog of war setting. That's literally what we're talking about when we say fog of war. That's something that we would produce. It's not perfect, but it gives you an idea.
And honestly, I probably ought to not put quite as much of the dam rating into the H-Pot and jump up the breeding a little bit, kind of bring the dam rating down a little bit, because the dam rating is cumulative. So, I mean, you can have dams, if you have a dam that's been in the game 12 years and breeds a whole bunch of allowance horses, she's going to have a dam rating that's pretty high, and she's going to pollute the H-Pot. So I'll consider that. But either way, it's useful.
Yeah. So. Let's see. We had FL Rancho said, can you rest your horse too long? For instance, training them for 10 plus weeks out. Only thing I've seen with that is if you put them on the farm. That's it. It's the only time, and even then, what happens is conditioning just starts lower than it usually does. That's it.
Yeah, but once you start training them, they'll be fun.
Right. Once you start actually training them, you're good. But if they're coming off the farm, a long farming period, then yeah, it can hurt the conditioning.
And just assume that once you take them off the farm, you need to train them for a minute.
FTP is gone. The open CSV on the player data page now. Yeah, that's the blob storage, I think, is what they're saying. The FTP is gone. I mean, it is gone. It's pretty much the blob storage is what they're pulling down now. Mm-hmm. Which, to be honest with you, is a lot better than the FTP anyway.
A lot cheaper too.
Yeah. So Shag said API access gets it's time to learn yet another programming tool. Good news, Shag. You already know the programming tool, so you're good to go, buddy.
APIs are easy, brother. I mean, really, if you know JSON, this is the trick. You know JSON, you know it all.
JSON's super easy anyway, man. JSON's like it's
not like, even a language.
No, it's like dealing with a CSV file is all it is. Yeah. A little bit more complex than a CSV file, but that's the general.
A whole lot more flexible.
Exactly. A lot more data that can be stored inside of a JSON than a CSV. Let's see. Cadet said when the menus were blue and originally on the left-hand side. Yeah. I'm trying to get to questions here. Damn, nobody's asking questions. Let's see. We got Taffy who said, "Oh, she's advertising mares."
Look at her go! You go, girl.
Let's see. We got some Love Excel in the chat. Mike's version of the Y2K
Excel.
bug. Yeah, Excel is tough, especially if you're dealing with it in SSIS. Lindsay Park. The 90s memories. Yeah, man. I don't even think I was a teenager in the 90s. Let's see.
It's really easy to figure out, Frank.
No, I was. Was I? Yeah, I was.
Was I?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was. Yeah, 98. I think I was when I was.
You did that meme where the girl was drinking kombucha.
Oh yeah! Thank God you corrected that.
Kombucha?
No, you stopped short on a syllable. So
I did.
Oh, I'm broken. Mike got me tonight.
I'm broke. Oh, yeah, okay. Now I'm gonna have to pull out my
oh god,
my Pantera guitar. But I'm broken. Check it out.
There it is. Oh, that was the second one. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. God damn, Mike got me.
Loaded.
Let's see. Dunville said you need to decide as a new player how you're going to be successful without competing against the boys until you're ready. My in the money percentage has never been 50%. That's 100% accurate. It's all about keeping things in perspective. Don't come into the game thinking that you're automatically going to be running and graded. If you happen to, fantastic, but don't expect it all the time. Skippy said the part of what residencies and residency managers should be doing is mentoring.
Good call. Yeah, I mean it doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt. Yeah, I think I was thinking more independent of residencies. I was thinking more like one-on-one. But I mean, it's Bazals is amazing at that. He got me started. Bazals sent me excuse the language. Not that I haven't been cussing all night, but he sent me a fuck ton of horses when I first started, and I got a graded winner out of one. It was a lot of fun for me. Just to even run. So if you are interested, I'm going to promote this residency. Sorry, everybody else, but Only Stayers is a very, very good residency. Bazals is very generous with giving horses out. Skip is good in his own right with his residency at Hoosier. Also, the other one that I was a part of when I first started was Empire State Racing, which is ESR. So I don't know if Pete's taking anybody else on. He's got a pretty full plate, but look at residencies, try to find some folks in there, and most folks will help you out.
And that's the thing, Skippy, is you're 100%. I know Skippy is a guy he's a big advocate for residencies, and he's rightfully so. I mean, we find residencies to be, they are a hugely beneficial way, especially to get started in the game, but also keep interest in the game. It's amazing. And
I think communities.
I mean, communities within communities. And the nice thing is that, like you were saying, Skip, is that residencies can help these new players. And I really do think that some of the ideas, Frank and I batted around back and forth. I'm sure you'll have thoughts on it, and we will bring you in as soon as we're ready to really dig in, because you know as much about Resonance as anybody in the game outside of Frank and I. But once we get to that point, we really do think that some of the ideas we have in place will hopefully not only bring residencies even more to the forefront, but also encourage them to help new players. So It's
we're trying to keep quality folks around, right? And it's in the gaming world, to put it in a nutshell, it's very, very difficult to do that. And the fact that Mike's been able to do it for 25 years is literally pat on the back. Like it's
out of sheer luck. I mean, it's out of community. I mean, honestly, the community has kept the people around. It's not me. I know that I go radio silent, and I can tell you a lot of reasons why I do that sporadically. Some of it is just like mental well-being. I mean,
100%.
It's been tough, man. I mean, I had no intention when I wrote this to do this 25 years. But I go through ebbs and flows where I just need to silo off for a while and get started, and then I know that stuff needs to be rewritten. Technology gets old, technology changes, stuff gets expensive, stuff breaks down. There's a lot of stuff that happens just even on the back end of the, technically that's difficult, but also just shit that's going on in my life, trying to work a job and family and bullshit. But we're getting around. That's why you're seeing more of me now. A, because of Frank, because he offered. I finally took him up on it, and I loved it. But B, it's my kids are getting to a point that they are going off to college, so I've got a little more time, and I'm really excited to get back in and become more available to players.
And one thing I want to point out too that kind of goes overlooked is that I know it's a computer game. I know that for the most part it runs flawlessly. But what a lot of folks assume is that there's not a lot of labor that goes into it. There is. There is a ton of tinkering. There's a ton of stuff that, Mike does on the back end, myself now included, to kind of keep things flowing and keep things up to date and moving and doing things. There's a lot of customer service elements to it. There's just a lot of labor that goes into running a game like this. So again, it's not that, if, like Mike said, if he goes MIA or if I go MIA, it's not intentional. Mental health breaks, right? Because we both have full-time jobs elsewhere, and we're, coders, right? So coding there, coming back and coding here is kind of like there's never a break, which is why we're going to take off from whatever it is, October 9th till the 1st or whatever, from coding. We'll still be available, but we're just not going to code anything actively for the game. Just to reset and recharge. So I just want to make that out. I just want to point that out. It's not that, we're tired of the game or anything like that. That's not the case at all. It's just you got to reset every now and then as a coder. And that's typically what we'll do. So,
and it's not even so much, the thing is I promise you, I'll still be coding, but I will be coding for things that I don't have a specific thing to code for. Is I've got an idea, and it gives you an opportunity as a coder. I'll tell you the most free thing you can do is just come up with an idea and see it through, but not to have a specific thing. The last month and a half with the mayor leasing, with this dormant mayor stuff, it's been a slog, and I can tell you that from a tying this, like I was saying, I'm running off 2 servers, which causes. It brings in something called cores, and I won't get you guys,
too far into the weeds.
It's a pain in the ass. But I wanted to write it for the new game, so I don't have to gut all the code when we move it to the new game. So.
Right. Yeah. So and again, we'll get there. It's just we'll just need to break to recharge and get to where we're going and kind of be go.
We gonna get there.
Skippy said, Mike, do you advertise the game on various media outlets and try to bring in new players?
No, I don't. I've done it sporadically in the past and had ish success. There was a time when I promoted on Google, and this has been 15 plus years ago, and then Google shut me down because they said it promoted gambling. Ultimately, the thing that I've done is it's word of mouth, pardon me. And part of that is by design, simply because, especially many moons ago before 2012, when this version was rewritten, it wasn't in a place that it made sense to promote it because I couldn't take in a large number of people. Even right now, I couldn't take in a large number of people. With the rewrite, I'm just talking infrastructurally.
Yeah.
With the rewrite, I'm rewriting it even though it's like I'm going to rewrite it to where it can scale a lot more horizontally. That doesn't mean shit to anybody here, but we will be able to bring on a whole lot more people if we did. At that point, if we decide to advertise it, it may make sense to. But I want the website particularly to be a lot more cell phone friendly. I want the back end to be a lot more scalable. I want the coding to be more scalable. And our worst concern right now, not that anybody knows about a social media platform called Hive. When Twitter was shit in the bed back in November, Hive came out and literally they grew too fast. They had a whole bunch of problems infrastructurally. They fucked up, and they could have been the next Twitter. They fucked it all up. They tried to grow too fast. I'm not at a point to where we could grow the horse racing game. If we got a whole bunch of people in tomorrow, that'd be the worst thing that could happen. So we want to keep it kind of like, I won't say hush hush, tell your friends, tell your buddies, but I'm not out there promoting it because it's not ready for that.
Right. It's a niche group right now. Right. It's you guys are, to be honest, you're the elite selected folks who play the game. Like that's what we need right now. And
Don't you know that you're my heroes?
There it is. And again, it's we can take on, handfuls of people at a time. But like Mike said, like if this was to go like mass advertising and we were on like CBS or something like that, we got a massive inflow, we would be fucked. Like,
but the good news is,
fucked.
100% honest, I'm not shitting you here, is that every step of the way, I mean, literally everything I've learned, not everything, but a lot I've learned about like coding databases and stuff comes from this game. And, now I have a job where I like deal with databases and like billions of records and shit. So long and short of it is that like this has allowed me to learn stuff in my real job, which I'm able to bring back here. So it's kind of like it's Hakuna Matata, man. It's a circle of life. So the good news is that when I'm writing for this game now, back in 2012, I had ideas and I knew kind of ish how to do things. I guess I actually started even writing about 2009 to get to that next version. But I've literally learned now when I'm coding now, I'm learning how to code a lot more horizontally and as well as like just write databases a lot better. So as we go forward, if we did, let's just say that we got a huge influx of players, I'm talking like hundreds of thousands of players, the infrastructure will be there for it. I just have to like throw more money at it, but infrastructurally, but the code will be there, but it's not there right now.
Yeah. And again, it's not to say that we can't get there. And I probably, me saying we were fucked is probably an overstatement, but the point is.
No, you're right. Right now, we would be fucked. If we got 100,000 people that want to play this game tomorrow, there's no way we could add them.
It's a good thing that only 28 people like us. So
is that our chat room right now?
That's our chat room right now. Let's see. Squirrel had a good comment. There it was. New stable group with less than 100 races equals 1.25 BP's modifier or something to help.
Not bad.
Accumulate the resources to move on and encourage continued play to get those resources. I would even say extend it out. Not even race oriented. Time oriented, first 2 years in the game, something like that to get them.
I'm not against a lot of that. Again, this goes down to a rewrite or rethinking of things but no, I mean, something like that makes a lot of sense. Either of those make a lot of sense, but what is that?
Sam Adams, Wicked Easy.
It's Wicked Easy.
What was that? That wasn't Boston. That was
no.
Was that Australia? I
have no idea what it was. Fuck off, man. Anyway,
broke me twice. Anyway. Got me twice. Oh, Jesus.
Got him. But anyway, something like that makes sense. The only problem I have with things like that, and this is why we had to think it through first, is there's so many people that open up extra stables, try to get points and do weird shit. I would have to figure that out. It's almost like again, it's a thought process and a rethinking through. I'm not saying that anyone here would do that. I'm just saying that people will take advantage of things given the opportunity.
Mike won't say it, but I'm gonna say it. All you fuckers will. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. We got Squirrel again. People with extra mares, you can also breed B2B prize horses. Just ship to the B2B barns if you want to help out like that. Yeah,
cool.
100%. Like B2B gives away a lot of horses. They give away a lot of horses. They give away credit prizes. They do a ton of stuff same kind of stuff that Mike and I do on these streams. So yeah, if you want to give stuff to B2B, and again, we promote writing for the B2B, man. Like, write for those guys. You'll earn credits. You'll be able to buy horses. Even if you write like a little bullshit stakes race or bullshit allowance race or bullshit grade 3 or something that somebody hasn't covered or whatever.
Don't make me turn this over to Chat GPT. It's going to be awful.
That's right, because if we have to start paying Chat GPT, then you're going to get more surfing guinea pigs. And just kidding. Let's see. I do love that you moved to Slack for chat, which is new since I returned. That was D Money Schaefer. So funny story about that.
What do you think about Discord?
What do you think about Discord? Because we've kind of started moving over there. We have a few folks over there already, and I confirmed actually earlier this week with Padre Bry. Thank you, Padre, for the time. That the voice channels work. So you can actually pop in there and you can actually speak to folks one-on-one without having to type anything. Super cool. It's like being on the telephone with folks.
It's like Dora the Explorer. It's super cool. Exploradora.
All this technology. But yeah, so there we do have a Discord and I'll drop it into the Slack chat if you guys are interested. We don't obviously have it up on the, website yet. Yeah. And we probably won't put it up just because we want to kind of keep folks, at least not right now, because we want to keep folks filtering into Slack for the moment. But the Discord stuff, if you're a hardcore Slack user and you're interested in the Discord, I will drop it into the Slack chat. You can join the Discord. It's live. It's active. I created it 2-3 weeks ago. Both me, Mike, a couple other folks are involved in it. I think Cadet.
Discord's just so much cheaper for what they offer.
Yeah, free. I mean, it's free, number one. And number two is you can hook up Mike's favorite word, APIs, and do a lot of cool stuff with it. We can build out bots. We can do a whole bunch of different things through Discord itself to make the game much, much more fun. So good call, D Money Schaefer. I will drop that into the Slack chat at some point again. Not really interested in like full blown promoting it yet, but if you're interested in jumping in there, then we'll get
your feet wet. Dip your toe in the pool, son.
Exactly. Two things though with Discord. Number one, you do not have to download the app. There is a browser version of it. And number two, you do not have to download the app. There's a browser version of it. So don't come to me and be like, it wants me to download an app. It does not. You can do it through the browser if you don't want to do the app.
Oh, it totally wants you to download the app, but you don't have to.
Right. Yes, it's what Mike said, but you don't have to. All right. Let's see. We got R Whisper says, leasing mares has made winning 2-year-old races a lot harder, but it will level out in time. I guess maybe.
Theoretically could, yeah. I mean, it's hard to say.
We could do a study on it. I think in the grand scheme of things, I think leasing mares might actually slow down scratch breeding. That's my general thought.
Oh, yeah. Who knows? I mean, everything we do is a guess until it's not.
Right, until we get enough data on it, pretty much. Let's see. Donnie says, sometimes I feel, or not Donnie, I'm sorry. D Money Schaefer says, oh, no, hold on. We got nephew Donnie here. I got to read that. BK says, I wouldn't lease a mare to only Frank for all the tappets in the world. Well, you've just been excluded from the tappet share today.
You know what? It's a damn shame because Frank told me he was going to give you 12 tappet shares if you would lease one of your 4G card mares to him. You just lost 12 tappet shares, my friend.
Just so you know, I'm the reason why tappet is still high. I keep buying his ass. Just kidding. Let's see.
Halfway.
Only Frank's premium channel. It's all about the D. That's right. I am rated D.
4D cards?
4D cards. You figure out the math. Taffy says, yep, most of my E are well-bred and very limited breeding and 1 or 2 babies. Yeah, E's are E.
Yeah, you can find the good ones. I mean, that's why I think I may need to rejigger the H pot and take the breeding up and the dam rating down in the calc. But I'll have to think about that.
So we got Dunville Down says, shout out to Kai Ogle for being a great mentor when I first started. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Kai Ogle, true story.
He knows the shit, man.
He does. He sent me a horse when I first started. I want to say it was out of Arch, and it was a 3-year-old. Can't remember.
It's not a bad breeding.
No, it was a fun horse. I tried it in allowance because I didn't know anything. I didn't know what I was doing, and then couldn't find success in allowance, and ran it in claimers, and again won a bunch of races for me, earned me some BPs. So it was super appreciative, and I used to do write-ups on the B2B about my stables and all that shit.
That's the thing is shout out to Kai Ogle, but shout out to like most of the people in this game. Like 98% of the people in this game are just like cool as shit. There's always going to be a couple dicks. It's just going to be the way it is.
Oh, that's just life. But
it's just life.
Yeah, the majority of you guys are super fucking generous, like very, very generous. So, and that helps the game grow whether you realize it or not. Let's see. We got Taffy said Midas is an unusual residency, but it's a good group. Okay. I'll take
that's a backhanded compliment. Thanks, Taffy. I don't know who.
I mean, I'll take your word for it. I was gonna just roll with it. Let's see. We got Dingo said, do you have an actual figure of current active players? Last time we looked, I think it was like 12 something, wasn't it?
1,200. It's hard to say. I always guess. My guess is anywhere between 600 and like 1,500 to 2,000. That's just a guess. That's a range. It's probably falls somewhere in between that number. I don't know what the number is. It really is hard to guess. It's hard to guess.
It's based on. It's tough to pinpoint because there's only so many data points that we can look at that would actually suggest that a user is active.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that run multiple masters.
Right.
It's just difficult. So anywhere that we're ranging, I always, it's hasn't changed a lot over the last several years. So yeah, I would say anywhere 600 is probably the low end, 2,000 is probably the high end.
So I am getting caught up with chat, guys. I'm sorry. I know I was slacking here, but I'm working my way down. Just got to bear with me. Maddie says Eliza brings
chat FPD Frank P the douchebag.
Oh hell yeah. That's a new nickname. We got Maddie says Eliza brings in the big numbers. It seems. Yeah, we got over 40 with Spin on the chat. Me and Mike are too ugly.
Spins those are shit, man.
Me and Mike are too ugly for 40.
No, I was better looking at 40 than I'm at 52.
Well, I just meant 40 viewers. Taffy says and posted. All right, I'm not going to advertise Taffy. She can do that herself.
Look at my bear. I've got more bears. I'm awesome.
Listen, Taffy's out there working hard right now.
Will. No diggity. I like the way she bags it up.
Will says, can you tell the difference between a new player and an existing player who creates a new master stable?
Ish.
Yes and no.
Yeah, we have some stuff in place, but I mean, it depends on how slick they want to be. I mean, it's like I always tell people, and I joke, but I'm 100% serious. If I could actually tell things like that, I could make a lot more money in security. So like internet security and things. It's you can do certain things, but people can obfuscate, and I have a couple of handful of tricks that I don't well advertise to do a decent job of that, but it's not perfect.
Don't advertise them.
Yeah, I'm just letting them know.
Oh yeah,
they know already. Yeah, I've already tied people's stables together. They know.
Oh, they know. They have an idea. Skippy said he has an account on Discord, but not see Derbyville. Yeah, it would be under Derby Fever, I think.
Probably.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's probably under Derby Fever.
Yep, Derby Fever. There you go. You saw it on the screen. So we got. I think he has a higher learning curve, but I like it. I'm not sure who has the learning curve. Is it me or you?
Probably me. I'm dumber than shit.
Well, if you're dumber than shit, then I'm not even.
As one of my favorite characters in Netflix history says, Ruth Langmore from Ozark. I don't know shit about fuck.
Oh, love that. That is the best fucking saying ever. I love that saying. I say it all the time. I got sent to HR for saying that.
I accidentally dropped it in the Teams chat the other day at work.
Story for
I just
another
left
day.
it. Nobody called me on it.
Oh,
I got a couple of smiley faces.
I only got called on it because it was a client that I said it to.
Oh, I didn't get. Yeah, I did it internally. That's a little different. That's different, dog.
No fucks given on my end.
Zero fucks given.
That's right. I was Ruth. Let's see. Padre says 25 people talking over one another. Oh, no. So Padre, with that, what we're going to do is, or what I'm going to do is, create multiple voice channels. I don't have to have, it won't be just strictly, one voice channel where 20 people jump in and everybody's trying to say something. We'll create admins over there. We'll create some mods. We'll create some folks who have different permissions and what have you. But for the most part, it's going to be the chats themselves, the voice channels. I expect folks to kind of self-regulate in a sense where, if chat room 1 is tied up with 3 or 4 people, maybe you don't jump into chat room 1. Maybe you jump into chat room 2 or something like that, and then you can have a conversation with whoever jumps in there with you. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. This community is pretty mature in that sense, so that's what I'm hoping for. But the less regulation I have to do, the better. We got Taffy says Dixie.co is the one who taught me a lot. Yeah, Dixie actually sent me a message.
Did he? I haven't heard from Dixie in a minute.
Dixie sent me a message. He sent me a couple of messages. One about Mayor Leasing and one specifically about Taffy. So, yeah. Don't worry, Taffy. It was all good news. And then let's see what else we got here. We got Beer Keg. I learned a lot from my alter ego. Dude, you have so many egos. It's not even funny.
I learned a lot from Beer Keg.
Beer Keg is Peter North. Just so
that's
everybody
not true.
knows. Oh, it's true. It's true. He's also Fulton from the Mighty Ducks. In case you were wondering, the Disney movie from when I was 7. What else we got? Skippy says what I got from Frank and the Least Mare. Be honest, Skip. Whatever you got from me in that Least Mare was beta. Is probably shit.
I think I actually got one of Skippy's horses. I think like a Super Saver. I think I may have bred it. I'd have to look. So yeah, Skippy, I got your Super Saver mare. If I didn't breed it, I'm going to breed it right now.
All right. See, so for those of you who thought Mike didn't play, Mike does play. He plays under a couple of different stables. So,
primarily E-Test case.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Padre says, I told you Mayor Pimpin would be going down tonight. Oh, 100%.
Big Pimpin.
That's right.
Mayor Pimpin.
That's 90, or is that 90s or 2000s?
That'd be 2000s, right?
Yeah, early 2000s, I think. I was in high school. Let's see. BK said, can we mute only Frank on Discord? You can try. Right, we got Taffy says Dixie is awesome. Yeah, Dixie's a cool guy. I've talked to him a couple of times, just through PMs and what have you, and I like him. Good guy. Doesn't bust my balls that much, so he's good in my book.
My balls. All right, I'm about ready to breed your horse, Skippy. By the way, let's see. So
there you go, Skip. Live, Mike's breeding one of your horses, Skip.
Yeah.
Usually you have to pay extra for this in Mexico, just so you all know. But we're doing it live on Twitch.
Is what he's doing. Super Saver and Keen Ice.
Everybody go buy Keen Ice right now. If Mike's breeding them, he's good.
No. if you saw the mares or the side shares I own, don't do that. It's awful. I don't think Super Saver and Keen Ice have an overlap, but I guess we'll find out.
Drinking a magic celery shake as well.
Oof, that sounds awful.
Day. Hashtag Peter North special. Oh my God, that is and that's not a fuck. Skip got me. Not something I thought Skip would say. He said kink.
Yeah, I was wrong. We got a deputy administer 3x4x4 in this breeding, but we're doing it anyway.
Do it. Open up that spread. Oh,
listen.
So we do have some gift horses, and I don't even have the spin website up, so I got to find that. That's not it. Let's.
What am I even thinking? Let me go check. I want to check one more thing. I might have to go buy a new share.
Random spin. Oh, random wheel spinner. There we go. All right. So here's what I'm going to ask folks to do. Oh, look, it saved my names from last time. Oh, shit. Nice. I forgot to send Sam a message. Okay. So here's what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't already done so, please drop your name in the chat. These are the names that I currently have. I don't know if you can see them. It's probably pretty small. I can't zoom in on this, or I probably can, but I don't really care to. There we go. Zoom in. Oh, it's going to make me do it again. Zoom in. And we'll do it one more time for good measure. Zoom in. So I have Ledwith, Squirrel, Kim, Woet, R Whisper, Lindsay Park, Amir, Dennis Schaefer, Bazal's Chips for You to See, FL Rancho, Croft 68, because the other 67 couldn't attend, Lucky Rabbi, Dunville Downs, Baseball, NA Skippy, Beer Keg, Dingo 333, Desperado, King AB, Shag Farms. So, Gibbon's not here. I'd know he was here. He would text me or he would send me a message on Slack. We got 10 point here. All right. Definitely didn't see 10 point earlier. Okay, so 10 points here. Will Sledge. Sorry, Will. I'm going to write you out there just in case your name is different. Padre Bry says, add me. All right, Padre. If you want to be added, I'll add you. Did I not get Super Taffy? Wow, I didn't get Super Taffy. I'm definitely slipping. Man.
Big slip in. Frank slip in.
Frank slipping. Going to have to give away free breedings if I don't get these folks on here. Right. Remember when
they're coming in late hoping you'll give them a free breeding. They're like hoping you'll miss it.
Oh, BK, if any time it lands on your name, you will not get the free prize.
The Burger King in the house.
That's right. It's already, the game is coded against you. We have anti-BK code in the game. Starts with the wheel spinner.
Which we have nothing to do with. But if we did.
Oh, and to be fair, BK, you did win like a random spin, but it was a spin to clear everything out. So and you don't need it anyway. You're well off. I forgot Smithy Stables. All right.
Do not forget Smithy. He's been bringing the heat today.
The one, the only Squirrel. Oh, I forgot Squirrel. Did I forget Squirrel?
Apparently.
No, I didn't. Squirrel was number 2 on my list. She just told me I forgot Smithy, but she at me, so she got my attention. She was smart.
Squirrel's all about she's all about other people.
A little bit of that Colt 45, dude. That Colt 45 was the first thing that hit me. That was about 9:30, maybe a little bit earlier than that. Squirrel's in there twice. Yeah, I know, because I'm trying to give shit away to Squirrel.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see.
That's all you had to say.
Smithy Stables here. All right. And just so you know, for the folks who are here, we will 100%. You will get credits just for attending and chatting. So if you did chat, you did, drop your name here. We are going to give you credits for that too. So some are still missing. Who else am I missing? If you can tell me who I'm missing, now is the time.
If you are missing or you know someone who is missing.
Yeah, put them up on a milk cart and let me know.
Sounds like an inefficient way to resolve this.
Oh, yeah. No, listen, we're all just staring at a wheel right now. You know what we're going to do? Just for the fun of it, we're just going to spin it. Oh, no, I shuffled it. Oh, fuck, that wasn't what I meant to do.
What does that do?
It just moves the names around. Whoops. I just need the Zigzag and Special Derby Fever buds to make this an even better stream. Well, the buds are semi-legal where I live. Mike, are the buds legal where you live?
I have no idea. I don't partake in said buddage.
Ah, gotcha. I didn't include Dennis Schaefer. Yeah, no, Dennis is here. D-Money is Dennis. Puff stream. Listen, I can't smoke, man. The last time I smoked and drank, I threw up. Can't have it. It's not good content for the stream.
Oh, I disagree. I would love to see you throw up repeatedly. It'd be awesome.
Oh, Jesus. Well, that's apparently Derby Fever. These Derby Fever streams are going to turn into Jackass. Yeah, we'll put Mike in here. Let's put Mike in here, and then we can tell if it's really rigged.
You know what? I'll say this: if I win by chance, then we'll give away another tap it. Or yeah, we'll give away another tap it share.
How about this? If Mike wins, we give away a tap it to everybody who's in the wheel. Too much?
Too much.
All right.
A little too much.
I tried, guys. I tried.
I'll give away a second tap it share though. If I actually win, then we will give. And if every time I win, unless like I win like more than 3 times.
There you go.
Every time I win, I'll give away another tap it share.
BK had a good suggestion. Anytime Barsham is Shag, so I got Shag. But BK said anytime Jesus Christ, I can't talk. It's the Colt 45.
Oh Jesus Christ! You know who that is? That's Mr. Slave. Oh Jesus Christ! You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. I'm gonna move past it though.
South Park's amazing.
It is. We were talking about that in chat the other day. I don't know how that show is still on the.
Because it's fucking hilarious. Is why.
Well, yeah, but think of how politically incorrect it is. It's just. Anyways, I love it. I'm just saying it's funny as fuck to me. Yes, I got Shag. Shag is Barsham. There was BK said that everyone gets an A card if Mike wins. Yes, no.
Yeah, you know what? I would do the only problem is I would have to like code it, but I'm fine with that. You know what? Let's do that. Instead of a tap it share, everybody gets an A card.
How about that? Well, all right. Okay. I was going to say.
Is that okay?
Well, you're the boss. I'm just here. I just work.
No,
here.
You tell me. You're the boss. You're the one running the stream.
I was gonna. Oh, I got.
You're the Kenny Rogers to my Dolly Parton, man.
I was just gonna say, if Mike wins, 3 folks get an A card. That way, it's manageable for us. Because I know it's a lot of hard coding on this side.
It would be a pain in the ass. Let's go with 5 people.
All right.
Okay,
so if Mike wins,
if I win, 5 A cards.
5 people. There we go. We got everybody in. I spelled Bazal's name wrong, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix that.
How did you spell it?
2 Z's, 1 L. It's got to be 1 Z.
I don't think he cares. I mean, we'll figure it out. If he wins, we'll figure it out.
All right.
How many people are naming? There's not another guy with 2 Z's and 1 L in the game. And you know, BK's out here opening up a stable, hoping that he gets it right now.
That's right. We got 37 new Twitch users tonight.
All called Bazals.
So here we go. We're going to go ahead and spin this. The first prize we're going to give away will be Hit the Light, which is City of Light, Smart Strike, and Awesome Again.
Spin the wheel, make the deal.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. What happens if Mike wins this?
I think I have to give away 5 A cards, right?
I hope so. Dingo 333 wins it. All right.
No babies were eaten.
No babies were eaten. The Dingo Warrior, old wrestling reference.
Yeah, that's the Ultimate Warrior before he was the Ultimate Warrior, right?
Yep, when he was in the WWCF or UWF, one of the two.
I think it was what was it? It was that Texas bullshit thing with the Von Erichs.
UWF, I think. So we got Dingo who won. Okay. All right, so next prize we give away is Midnight 45. This is Midnight Loot, Empire Maker, and Scat Daddy. We're just going to go ahead and spin it.
All right, let's see what happens.
And I'm going to drink while it spins.
All right. It's usually the best time to drink.
Oh, Beer Kid gets shit on again. Padre Bride gets Midnight 45.
Yeah, I saw Frank, like, you couldn't see, but I have like a full screen of Frank. He was nudging the wheel up, Beer Keg.
Yep, hold on.
It's like you had that one, and he like nudged it.
Was blowing the. Oh Jesus, that's gonna get captioned. I was blowing
the. Yeah, at least you owned that before it happened.
Jesus, didn't you know what? Colt 45, get off my screen. Hold on a second. Let me pull the spin wheel back up before I get myself into more trouble. Next prize should be a BK style GGG. I don't think that's a prize. We're gonna go ahead and spin. Free hot sauce for everyone. There we go, Padre.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Just for anybody who's wondering, this was for Whispering Justice. This is the other horse we're giving away. FL Rancho. Man, Rancho has
two-time winner tonight.
Yeah, Rancho wins all the time with us.
Well, you know what? He answered a trivia question, so he got old Greg.
He got old Greg, or she got old Greg. I think it's a she. If Spin, I don't know. Spin told
Either way,
FL Rancho can correct us in the chat if she wants.
Yeah, he, she, they, meh.
Yeah, whatever you qualify as.
Do what you like.
Exactly. All right, so the next one is going to be for the Tappet share.
Okay, so have we spun in the wheel yet? If I win 5 8 cards and 5 Tappet shares randomly, and we'll have to spin the wheel 5 more times.
Wait, say that again?
Okay. If I win this Tappet share.
Okay.
We're going to go away five Tappet shares, and we're going to have to spin the wheel 5 times. And whoever wins on those spins gets the A share and the Tappet share.
Sounds good, but I'm going to make y'all wait because I have to, excuse the pun, piss like a racehorse. So, Mike, you're going to have to talk this up. I'm going to put you up on the screen. I will be right back. Enjoy it.
Thank you. So, I guess I have to run the stream now, which is bad. This is not going to end well for anyone. Anyone other than Frank, who's sitting here laughing at me, at my malaise. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to... Let's see. Everyone cheering for Mike right now. Mike. Said no one ever. I've never been cheered for in my life. I guess you probably couldn't tell from my frame is that I've never been much of a sports person. I mean, I guess theoretically I could have been decent at baseball. Definitely never good at football or basketball. Mike, trivia? Yeah, let's do trivia. Let's think of a trivia question. Give me a trivia idea. Good luck, Mike. Okay, give me a trivia idea. Somebody give me a topic. I'll take a topic. No topics? All right, here we go. Then we're going to do our own topic. Here we go. Music. I can do music. Let's think of a good music topic here. I'm trying to think of something that's not super easy to Google. Name? Let me see. This is probably going to be a Metallica question because I know a lot more trivia about Metallica than I should, but I won't promise you that. Okay, let's do a Metallica question or Megadeth question. Okay. Name the song on Rust in Peace that is based on Area 51. Megadeth. Frank knows. He's on mute, so he can't answer.
Oh, fuck, I've been asking if I can answer it.
Hear us play. No, you remember here. Hangar 18 Super Tap, he wins. Possibly she's too much. Hangar 18, she knows too much. All right.
Hangar 18 I don't the best.
Yeah, I don't even know what I don't even know what the prize was, but I'll make sure to make it worth your while, Taffy.
Tell me what it is and I'll shoot something over. Or we can
that's all right. I'll give her some I'll give her some cards.
Sounds good to me. I was going to do a breeding, but you do the cards. That works better. Less work for me.
All right, yeah.
Let's see. Mike and nope, not reading that one. BK, I allowed it, but I'm not going to read it because it broke me. It broke me once.
4G's coming your way. Now I've got to pee.
All right.
I just had to yeah, but you can go ahead and spin the wheel. No, I don't trust you. You got to wait until I come back because you're going to be like, yeah, you have to give away 273 Tappet shares. I'm like, no.
See, guys, I'm on your side.
All right, but we're going to have to wait.
We'll hold off.
I trust Frank, but I don't trust him that much.
Listen, I got the keys to the castle, and I know how to give shit away.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's the funny thing is Frank could totally give away 273 Tappet shares if he wanted to, but I trust him. But I still have to use the bathroom. But now I'll be back.
First mistake. All right. So Mike was putting y'all through the heavy metal, ringer of sorts with the trivia. Hanger 18, one of the absolute favorites. Can't win in Australia. Takes 20 seconds to get the question with a delay. It's all good, man. Maddie will, that's why we got you guys on the wheel. That's why we got y'all on the wheel, man. Nothing says you can't give away 273 flying spurs. Where is Jono? Jono didn't show up tonight. I'm disappointed. I miss my Jono. Let's see. Bloody Aussie internet speed. Yep. You know what y'all need is you got to get that Spectrum over there. And I say that sarcastically because Spectrum is a piece of shit. And I have it. And if somebody farts too loud, it goes out. So there you go. Let's see. So we will give some stuff away. I think the next one, what did I give away so far? I don't even remember. Did I give the Tappet share away? No, I didn't give the Tappet share away. Didn't give it away. Will give it away at one point. But I also want to give away the Malibu Vixen grade 1 winning mare. That's at a casino stable again. There's Cadet. He's back. Let's see. I give all the horses away. No Tappet, Midnight, and the City Horse. Yeah, I mean these were a lot of fun to breed. Oh, also Skip, I saw your comment about me being a lightweight. I'm not a lightweight. What did I drink tonight? I drank 5.6, 16 full ounces. I don't feel like looking at this, but 16 more ounces. That's 32. This is 12 at 6.7. And another 12. So I'm not totally a lightweight. I got my Irish blood is holding strong. Tappet was next once Mike's back. Yeah, once Mike comes back, I can give the Tappet away. Unfortunately, if it was up to me, I'd give them all away. Don't keep track. Ignorance is bliss. Oh no, I'm a numbers guy. I got to know where I'm at. Right. It's all about beating the most recent record. There you go, Lindsay. You ain't
there we go.
Anyway, BK. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's get the shit talk rolling.
Yeah, BK has you know what? The cool thing about BK is that he has so many other initials. He's like the Burger King, is the British Knights. We got everything.
Oh, yeah. Listen, BK. I talked to BK probably in the chat. I probably talked to BK more than I talked to anybody else.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. It hurts my brain a lot, but he's good people, man. He does good things in the stream in the chat. We will get him on the stream one day.
I would love to have BK. I would love to have there's nobody in the chat except one person right now. No, I'm just kidding. There's everybody in here right now. If you want to be on, you're all welcome on. The only deal is Frank and I are willing to put our ugly mugs on camera. You have to put your ugly mug on camera. That's the only rule.
So you know what we should do is let's spin.
Or if you're beautiful. If you're beautiful, we don't want you on anyway. Because you can't make us look that bad.
So I'm gonna put this out there. Let's spin the wheel next and see who comes on with us next.
Really?
Well, I mean, I'm throwing it out there.
It's up to them.
Listen, do you want to win a Tappet share or do you want to, end up on the stream? So let's put it that, there's stakes involved now. There's stakes involved now.
I think everybody's thinking of the Tappet share.
Everyone's like, no, let me get the fuck out of here. Let me get off the Tappet stream. No, I'm saying if you win the Tappet, you're on the next stream with us.
Yeah, if you want to be on the next let's do this.
Force their hand. Don't give them an option, Mike. Come on.
No, watch this. Watch this. I'm going to force their hand and give them an option. This is for a Tappet share. But if you win the Tappet share and you come on the next stream, you get an A card as well.
All right, I'll sweeten the pot because I can. I'm going to sweeten it because I can, and there's nothing Mike can do about it at this point. Well, he could. He could literally restrict all my access. But
yeah, that sounds like too much work.
Too much work for him. So I will sweeten the pot, and if you win this Tappet Share and you come on with us in the next stream, I will let you breed whatever combination of Sire, DS, and DDS you would like.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll be back in a second, too. I lost something.
Free horse. Thought the wheel was about prizes, not punishments. No, listen,
I found it.
Everybody's punished. If Mike and I have to go through this, so do you guys. I'm just kidding. We are going to do it here in a second.
Right, I'm good.
So is everybody on par with this? If you spin the wheel and you win this Tappet Share, you're coming on.
You're going to get the Tappet Share regardless. Tappet Share is a no-brainer. Done deal. You win this, you get the Tappet Share.
Right. You win this, you get the Tappet Share. No questions asked. You win this, you get the Tappet Share. But if you decide you want to come on with us,
you get several things.
You also get an A card, and you also get a breeding.
This is like the Price is Right, man.
Oh yeah, we got some shoes to fill, right? Is Cadet not on here? Did I not include Cadet? All right, well, Cadet needs to be added. There we go. See, man, when I call shit out, you gotta be on your toes. We got Cadet on this. All right, so
now the problem is this. Now we can't like expand this, but if I win, we have 5 Tappet Shares to give out.
We have 5 Tappet Shares, and I got to do this shit again with Mike next week. So
yeah, that's the thing. If I win, it's 5 Tappet Shares, period, and nobody else gets anything.
That's right. All right,
but we do have to spin the wheel 5 times.
How about this? If Mike wins, we have to give away 5 Tappet Shares, but everybody who's on my list has to send in 500 credits. Bam. Just kidding.
That sounds awful.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm clearly kidding. But all right, we're gonna go ahead and spin it.
Yeah, spin the wheel, make the deal.
This is for Tappet.
Now do you have it? You don't have it on the Twitch stream yet.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, there it is. Okay.
Twitch is delayed a little bit. Skip said he's missing Big Brother for this. Man, we're better than Big Brother. Get out of here. We got 29 people
Big
in
Brother.
Here. There's like 24 people watching Big Brother right now, and you're not one of them. Let's see. So
we got more people in this room right now than we have watching Big Brother.
This is for the Tappet Share. Who's getting it? Taffy.
Really?
Yep, Taffy won it.
All right.
Oh, I gotta find prizes. Hold on a second. Where are my prizes at? There we go. Taffy gets her Tappet Share. So Taffy, there you go. You got some decisions to make there.
Yes,
lady. You get to choose to if you come on with us. If you come on with us, Taffy, you get to pick a horse of your choosing.
Yeah, if you decide to come on with us, you get several prizes. You get an A share. You also get Frank. He will breed you one horse of your choosing, as well as the Tappet Share you already got. But you have to show up live on stream, video included, here on our Twitch channel. Taffy, deal or no deal?
You don't know the Twitch channel name, do you?
No, it's that Derby Fever, right?
Yep, there you
go. Twitch.tv/Derby Fever. I got it.
Mike's also going to give you a refrigerator if you join, based on his.
But wait, there's more.
The delay got chips again. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Man, we started off slow, but we picked up real fast. Okay, so Taffy won the Tappet Share. The next one that we go here is let me find it. We have Malibu Vixen, which is the grade 1 winning end of the year award horse. Malibu Vixen for sprints. She's got 2 babies. One is a stakes winner that I saw. And the way that this is going to work is it's going to come out of Casino's Barn, because I run Casino's Barn right now. So you will get to pick the stable, or I'm sorry, you will get to pick the sire, and I will breed it to Malibu Vixen free of charge. It will be your horse. So whoever wins gets this.
Old and busted Malibu Barbie, the new Thoughtness Malibu Vixen.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna spin the wheel. Is everybody ready? All right, here we go. Oh man, BK, when we get you on, you can give away a GGGA. I'm 100% for that.
We can literally give away like 30 of them.
Oh, I say
It'll
we
be the
do
most
it.
boring stream ever.
We'll just give
watching
one away.
The wheel spin for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, every 10 minutes we'll spin the wheel. Here we go. This is for Malibu Vixen.
I'd love a Malibu Vixen.
Oh, who's it going to? Shag.
Named after both a sex and a rug.
Oh, man. Mike's on point tonight. He's got me, man. Sex and a rug. All right, so, oops, that's Steam. We got Shag, who wins Malibu Vixen. So congratulations, Shag. Congratulations, winners. Mike, how many bees did you give away? 1 or 2?
I already gave away everything. I gave Super Taffy 3. I gave FL Rancho 3. But if Super Taffy's on next week, then she gets an A card.
Okay, all right. So
I'm taking care of it on my side, the bees, I believe.
Gotcha. I just want to make sure we were caught up. Okay, so at this point, all the prizes have been given away. I don't know if you have any more questions for me and Mike. I don't know really what else we can talk about.
If anybody wants to talk about anything, like I'll sit here and talk for another few minutes as long as Frank's running the stream, man. So
I got nowhere to be. I got to work tomorrow, but I roll out of bed and I'm here.
What's in that bag? What you got in that bag, as Ludacris would say?
That's hold on, I'll get it. That's my son's Halloween costume.
All right. Is it Ric Flair? Is it a Ric Flair costume? That is not a Ric Flair costume.
The Incredible Hulk.
That's actually, that's pretty cool.
It's actually representative of my chest. I'm just saying that they took the imaging for me.
Is it green because it's like dying?
It's because I have that
my
gamma.
chest is concave, so that's all right.
Yeah, no. So my son, out of the blue, he's everything Disney for the most part, but it's
a Mike costume. Beer keg's ragging on me.
So for some reason, he just randomly one day he's like, we were at the store the other day, and he's like, I want to be the Hulk for Christmas or for Christmas. Jesus Christ, I'm drunk. I want to be the Hulk for Halloween.
I'll be the Hulk for Christmas.
Shit, I might be the Hulk for Christmas.
Comes in and fucking tears your tree down.
Bro, I'm gonna kick your chimney in and just come down this. I'll be the Hulk. I'll be the Hulk for Christmas. There's a horse name, by the way. So yeah, no, it just randomly was like, I want to be the Hulk. So he told me that I have to be Captain America, and we're trying to figure out if my wife is gonna be Black Widow or if she's gonna be Scarlet Witch. So
all right, go with Scarlet Witch.
I agree. I like Scarlet Witch. I think that's. I want my wife to be Scarlet Witch. So we'll go from there. But yeah, man, that was his costume. It was weird as hell that he just came up with it, because he's like, right now he's super into like, he wants to be a cop. He wants to be a firefighter. He wants to be, what's the other one he wanted to be? Oh, Woody. Woody from Toy Story.
Yeah, I still haven't figured out what I want to be when I grow up, Frank. So,
well, I'm trying to figure it out too. Maybe we can do it together.
Yeah.
Later, King. Take care, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Have we covered percentage effort on stream? You mean like setting the percentage for your horse, Cadet? Is that what you're talking about?
What was the question?
Have we covered percentage effort on stream? Like, is 80% ever going to cost you winning a race?
Ish. Yeah, it probably shouldn't. I mean, it could. I mean, yeah, it's such an ish. It's kind of an iffy thing. So yeah, but effort I think only goes like 90 to 100, right?
Effort? I know. I think it goes lower than that.
I think it's 0 to 10, or like it's not. It doesn't go like 0%. It's like
it might be on the back end code. It might be a little bit different, but
yeah, it's not much.
Yeah, effort is 0 to 100, but it's
okay. Yeah,
It's
it's not much.
I think don't the percentage that you see on the front end isn't exactly the percentage that's impacted on the back end. So
yeah, it's yeah, I mean, if you're gonna win, you're gonna win. So pretty much, it's more one of those things where like just in hindsight, I don't even like that. I don't like that drop down. So
I would say this.
It's due for deprecation.
Yes, there's no useful function out of it. Is kind of the way it works because jockeys will push your horse to 100 if they think they have a shot to win. That's kind of the way that
it's due for deprecation. It's it was one of those things that seemed to ish make theory because people were asking for it. But ultimately at the end of the day, jockeys want to win races, and
So 98 saves a little wear and tear. I wouldn't even say that.
What's that?
98 saves a little wear and tear.
You know what?
I wouldn't even say that.
It's tough. I mean, I'd have to look at the code. Like I said, and this is actually, if you watch back about an hour and a half ago, I don't remember like a whole bunch of code I put in here. It all made sense at the time. This has been 25 years ago. A lot of this is written, and like it, at most recently 12 years ago, but at least tweaked. So yeah, it's
so I looked.
This is
I looked
difficult.
I did look at wear and tear specifically.
Okay.
Effort. I mean, I looked at it this week. That's the only reason why I'm mentioning it. The effort doesn't play into it. So I wouldn't worry.
Effort does not play into wear and tear. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I wouldn't
worry. Wear
and
tear is all about like distance between races.
Yeah, and that's. Remember BK when I was like, "Hey man, if you run your horses every 2 weeks when they're 2 years old, you're gonna blow them up when they're 3." Yeah, like that was what I was talking about. See, you just heard it from the guy who wrote the code, so I'm not full of shit. Let's see. We had Donnie asked, or Donnie. God damn, I keep seeing D Money Schaefer and thinking it's Donnie Baseball. Does the changing the early speed matter at all? It affects pace.
Yeah. It affects your horse's pace and it affects the race pace. So,
yeah, you can.
Is that gosh,
Dennis?
Yeah. I mean, like Dennis is like he was. You know what? And started putting it together. That's a cat that was playing like 20 some years ago. Did you come back again, Dennis? I mean, like, yeah. I remember Dennis. Is different Dennis Schaefer maybe, or just like the same?
He was asking about new players earlier, so same guy. I think he's been in and out, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. He said, yes, sir. There it is.
Yeah. Dennis was like early on, like very, very early player. So this is and that's why I like when stuff. It's like we're always talking about like people leaving and coming back. I mean, yeah, it's
You know what's funny, Padre? Is Padre said that December races are going to be weak with everyone resting their 2-year-olds. Everyone's basically just been like, I don't give a shit what Frank says. I'm running my horses. Not very many people are resting their 2-year-olds, to be honest. Again, and I look at the data from a high level, so it's very like how many 2-year-olds are still currently running kind of deal, based off of race date. And there's quite a few out there. Not a lot of people are resting 2-year-olds. So despite the shit or the information that I've given, a lot of folks are kind of just like, yeah, fuck you, bro. I know what I'm doing. So that's perfectly fine.
People gonna people, man.
That's right, man. That's the way it works. Listen, I'm not here to tell anybody how to play. Like, you play the way that you want to play. And that's the beauty of this game is number of ways to play. But don't bitch at me if you don't win something. That ain't my fault.
No, and that is 100% the truth. Is that I would love to tell you the right way to play, but I've tried to play my own game, and there are so many people that are so much better than me at it that I'm like, I don't even know I'm right anymore.
Yeah, listen. I mean, again, Mike developed the game. I've seen the code of the game, dude. It's so fucking difficult to even. Like knowing what you know to even win the game, like the Dans, the Lennies, even Donnie Baseball. I know I didn't mean to shit on him the way I just did, but even Donnie, like with his 40% win percentage, like much better at the game than I ever will be, because there's certain things that they understand about real horse racing that I don't, that apply based on the numbers that Mike has put in. It's simple as that.
I mean, especially like a lot of the old horses that I've seen historically, there was a specific time when I was paying attention to horses that were in their late fives, sixes that were running like, they were winning grade one races and clicking them off. But a lot of times they didn't have a lot of races run. Allied Assault, that's a King Ab horse. Horseshoe Bay, I can't remember. I think that may be a next bonus horse. I know Stoners has run several horses, as has Texas Ace. Horses that they didn't run very often, but they kind of spaced them out. And they took advantage of the fact that horses can mature later if you don't wear them out. And it's a long game.
Earlier this year,
it takes a lot of patience.
Earlier this year, I lost. I finished second by a half length to an 8-year-old horse. Now, knowing what I know, typically speaking, and Mike, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but at 8, that's typically when the decline starts to happen, regardless of
the decline
race.
Starts a little, it'll happen before 8, but you can still, if your horse isn't like worn the fuck out, it can still run it.
And this horse wasn't. This horse was still, I think it was like 16 starts, something like that. It was still it was very well.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know the word. Mummified. But the point is like this person literally either just they left the game and they didn't come back, or they managed this horse in the right way and they got a stakes win out of an 8-year-old compared to my 4-year-old that should have been running prime, or at least I think should have been running prime. But yeah, again, man, like there's a lot of nuance to this. Like, I can only say so much. Folks are going to do what they want to do. I can tell you what I know based on what I've seen. And again, Mike has given me free reign to basically give almost everything out, with the exception of like actual ratings, which, we've pretty much done for the most part.
Yeah, we've given away more over the last year than we have. Yeah. Especially the last 6 months, 3 months, 4 months. Yeah. So which is fine. I don't mind that. I mean, that's the thing, is that, I want the player base to be informed. It's this game has, it's ever changing. But like we were saying with Dennis was saying, it's like I want to give more information to everyone as we go along. I really do. I really want to. I would love to turn this thing almost. I wouldn't know how I would ever do it, but I'd almost like to turn this public domain where people could run their own little offshoots of this game and like all come together in some weird way. I mean, in a theoretical world, that's exactly what I would love to do. I have no idea how to make it work. But.
Software as a service.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that I would love for this thing to like outlive me.
6 years from now, software as a service. Let's see. So BK said, nope. All my 2-year-olds are in graded races or training for December 1st. Yeah, none of your horses.
Good luck on that.
None of your horses are getting into those graded races.
I hope they do.
So, Cadet said, the game is so... He's got this in quotes, by the way. He said, the game is so hard, there is no skill. Frank tells us how to play. Cadet, shut up, you loser. I butchered that exchange, but yes, that is... 100% the feeling behind it. Let's see. Lucky Rabbi said, regarding pace and jockey, I had Dan Given tell me that he just sets his jockeys to let them do it. He never fixes paces setting. Yeah, I mean,
it's not the worst idea.
It's not. But Dan is super good at the game. He's fucking awesome at placing his horses. He's a lot better than most in this game. Like, he is in the top 1% of placing his horses. Lenny too. It's not excuse me. While it is a numbers game, there is skill involved with it. Like, everything that those guys push out is not a graded winner. It's not a stakes winner.
Yeah.
But the ones that are talented and the ones that they get are the ones that are.
They know when to give up on a horse, and they know when to keep pushing.
Exactly.
Generally. And yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like, if you don't have an idea where to put your horse as far as the pace goes, yeah, let the jockey decide. Are they great at it? They're not always great at it, but they're usually better than average. You know, if you see your horse doing certain things, you know, then yeah, it's focus on that. You know, and Dan and Lenny both run quite a lot of stables. And they are sometimes focused on getting points over getting perfection.
Right.
I can't promise you that I don't know what Dan and Lenny do as far as like with their top tier horses. They may, they may super tweak them. I have no idea, but you can tweak a horse with those settings and get it like really on point. But if you don't have an idea, and if you're really running a lot of horses, trying to get points, trying to earn more points, then yeah, go ahead and let the jockey do it.
Yeah. I mean, and again, speaking specific to the jockey instructions, there are benefits to getting it, right? Like, and it's basically like getting it within a range. It's not like you have to be pinpoint accurate with like what the actual value is for the running style. You just have to get it within a range.
Yeah, you have to get it close. Right. I mean, if you can get it pinpoint accurate, yeah, that's primo.
Through the roof. Like, you'll see it in the performance. But the point that I'm making is like, yeah, there's benefits to it, but there's also downsides to it if you don't get it right.
Yeah.
So with everything else,
it takes time. It takes effort. I mean, if you really want to run a bunch of horses and you want to kind of like go that avenue, and then, like we always say, there's different ways to play the game. If you're really trying to run a bunch of horses and just maximize points, then yeah, let the jockey set it. Now, if you start getting up to a point to where you're like, you can, you see the horse doing a certain thing, and you're like, you watch the races and you're like, maybe he could have done better on the front end, and then tweaking, but I would only really do that with the horses if you're wanting to run a lot of horses, then yeah, only do it with the horses that you care about. But if you're only running a handful, again, different strokes for different folks. I mean, you can hyper focus on your horses and make them a lot better with it.
The other thing is too, right? Like when you're looking at a race to enter, pay attention to what's in there. Like if you see 5 or 6 horses that are gunning for the lead, and your horse is one of those horses that likes to go to the lead, probably not a good race for your horse unless he's really, really good.
So much better than everybody else in the race,
and you feel like he's so much better than everybody else in the race that he's going to beat it out. I mean, there is a scouting component involved to with this, right? Like, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier with the how you look at graded races and what have you. Again, in the past, I feel like I've stolen graded races by looking at the horses that are already entered and saying, oh, none of these want the lead. My horse wants the lead. Bing, bang, boom. This looks easy to me. And yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it just means that my horse might suck. So, again, at the end of the day, like, there's a methodology behind it. We got a couple of questions. Hold on a sec.
All right.
We had, let's see, Cadet posted his 10-year-old that won a grade 1. That's pretty cool.
A 10-year-old that won a grade 1? That's pretty solid.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good. You should keep breeding that thing. Beer Shake is at Derby Fever, well forgotten. No, I didn't forget you. I just don't read your comments because I know.
He wanted to forget you. He just didn't.
No, listen. The forcing the negative effects on your runners is a given when you're everything that you run is a GG. D Money Shaver, have you ever considered standard bred? I'm gonna leave that one to you, Mike.
Yeah, I think we kind of joked about that earlier, or not joked, but pointed it out. I don't know anything about standard breds. It will be kind of a guess. I just don't know enough about it. So, and then again, it goes down to the viewer. I mean, it's like It's just a,
you know,
standardbreds are a different sport. I mean, really, I mean, like it's theoretically the same, but in practice, it's completely different than thoroughbreds. I just don't know anything about it.
Here's a question from our Whisper. He always asks the best questions.
Yeah.
He said, if I set my early pace to 70%, but every other trainer in the race sets to 100%, is mine going to be closer?
To what? No, I mean, like you would probably, if everybody set their pace to 100 and you set yourself to 70, you would probably be, notably behind, but you would probably have a lot better chance of winning. Depending, I mean, like, it's like, especially if yours like a come from behind horse, is definitely got a much better chance. If your horse is going to be supposed to be on the pace, yeah, you know what? It's probably still better. I mean,
part of it is jock select too, right? Like it depends on how good the jock is, and if the jock says, if the jock looks at your rating and says, "Oh, you set this horse for 100, but he should be running at 0," the jock is going to be like, "All right, trainer, F you, I'm running at 0." Like,
jockeys do ignore you a bit at times too.
Not significantly. I want to point that out. Not significantly, but
the best ones do. Some of the dumb jockeys will do whatever you tell them, and some dumb jockeys will just go all over the place. So it really is like Frank loves the term fog of war, but if you have your setting set as something different than everyone else's. Now, I would say this. Here's the trick. Let's say that everybody sets their setting to like go to the lead, but only one of those horses is good at the lead, and all the rest of them suck at the lead. Then he's still going to jump out in front because the other ones can't keep up with him anyway. They're going to fall back a whole lot faster, and then it's like it's easy for him. So it's going to depend on the what the horse wants to do and what the horses want to do.
Exactly. And again, your horse has a style that it likes to run.
Yeah.
And that's the key component. So if all of these horses if the jockeys are trying to send all these horses at 100 and none of them are meant to go at 100,
right.
They're putting the horse at a significant disadvantage unless
he's likely not to get the lead, and he's likely to fall back fast. He's likely to be shot.
Right.
Because he's doing something he was never intended to do.
Unless he's just that much more talented than the rest of the field.
Right.
And even then, like, there's scenarios where...
Yeah. And we've seen that in real horse racing where, like, a horse will, like, a horse that's supposed to be a speed horse and he, like, gets hung out to the outside or something, and the next thing you know, he's, like, 5-6 lengths back and he still wins. I mean, it's a talent thing, too.
So BK says it's not the placement that wins you the grade. It's the nerfing the other runners. No, absolutely. Anytime I'm in one of the listen, I pick and choose which grades I'd like to win, and then when I figure out which ones those are, I nerf all the runners inside of them because that's the easiest way to do it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that. It's a significant amount of work, and I have no interest in doing that. Otherwise, the game wouldn't be fun for me.
I think that's the funny thing is like we have been accused within the last month of like rigging a race.
Yeah.
And I promise you, it's my same guy and he might be in the chat room, and I hope he is, but I'm not going to dox him. If you're here, I will tell you 100% live to your face. It's way too much work to fuck with a race.
It is.
Especially like one race.
I don't even want to look at the code.
It's like, I'm going to sit here and like switch dials and like move switches and like, no, nobody's got time for that. Especially if like, he's talking like a claimer. I'm like, no. What the fuck are you talking about, son?
It wasn't even a grade 1 race. It was a stakes race. It was a bullshit race.
At least it was a stakes race. Yeah. Apparently the guy doesn't know how many stakes races run a year. And there's like 3,000.
Didn't even have a full field. Plus. It was like 8 horses.
Yeah.
And it was.
So I'm fucking with that race. But yeah, nobody's fucking with races.
It's
a lot harder than it sounds like.
That was the race we decided we were going to, you know what? Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Somebody else is winning it. Not me or Mike. Somebody else who we don't know is going to fucking win this race, not this guy.
Yeah, because that's what I like to do.
Exactly.
I love
gotta create the chaos.
Here, I love coding. I love telling people that I'm too busy to answer fucking shit. But really, what I really like to do is fuck with random people and fuck their horse. No, that's not the way any of this works. I mean, I promise you.
I mean, sometimes it works that way because I do it to BK all the time.
But yeah, it's nobody has time for that bullshit.
No, it's too. Listen, the code is too. It's too involved to do something like that. There's so many checks and balances inside of the code that would even prevent somebody from doing that.
Yeah. And that's why we're talking about, again, transparency. Literally, we're going to make the random code like transparent eventually. And like, you know, it's going to be cool. I mean, I'm really excited about that, to just be able to point people to go here. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you know, we have the audit capabilities is something that will come, you know, again in the new format.
This is the way that like the new internet should be. I think that, you know, and I won't wear people out with my thought process, but I will talk for 30 seconds. Is like social, you know, like centralized is a problem. We're going to try to make this to where like people can do a lot more shit with this game. So it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I think we're moving into a platform that's going to allow us, number one, a lot more functionality from a user standpoint, and number two, a lot more architectural versatility from a developer standpoint. Because right now we're strapped.
Yes,
but we're going to get there, and when we get there, it'll be so much easier to add stuff and remove stuff and tweak stuff and get things into a position where it's like the player really feels like what they're saying has an impact. Mm-hmm. So that's where we're going. That's where we're trying to get to. You know, if you know, we're glad everybody's here for the ride. It's going to be a long one, but we're going to get there eventually.
And number 3, and this is going to sound crazy. It's going to sound like a crazy concept. But you know what? Every game that is very like locked down like this one is like relies on like one person. I'm going to write the new version to where like if I died, this game could continue without me and without anybody. And like, you know, I really want to make this like a decentralized potential to like where like people could fucking do this without me. Yeah. Like in this game, not that horse racing in the stupid game could live for like 5,000 years, but it could in theory.
That's what we're hoping for. Longevity. 5,000 years.
Yeah, but you know, it's like that is the problem with like a game, any game like this is like it generally like hinders on like one or two people. But you know, Frank and I, let's say that like we meet up and like have a dinner and like somebody like, you know, decides that they hate us and you know, we just like cease to exist and the game's gone.
Well, trust me, there's a few emails out there that would support that.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, ultimately, what I'd love to do is like make this game like, you know, long term. I'd really think that, you know, we have the potential for that. So
let's
pretty
see. Cool. BK says, can I ask Mike if he's coming up with a fix for user error? No. The answer to that is a user error. We can't fix user errors.
Oh, no. Yeah, you know what? This is what ChatGPT tries to do, and then they're going to like send you to like some cafe in Italy that doesn't exist when you go over there. And like,
it's never gonna
computers can never resolve human decisions.
So,
this is not going to happen.
Maddie said he's chips for you to see. Frank, why have you stopped drinking? Well, I'll tell you why. I ran out of beer.
Boo!
Because I'm a lightweight. I drank 32, 44,
712,
56 ounces. 56 ounces I drank.
I drank more than that, but I'm done too.
Oh, all right. Well, I didn't realize this was a pissing contest. Excuse me. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you were the first one that pissed, so you won that contest.
Well, I had to break the seal. I also was the only one who drank a Colt 45.
You did. Congratulations.
I don't even know if congratulations is the right response.
It's definitely not.
I feel like there should be a wake for me. BK said, not effing with the races, just boosting and nerfing the horses. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Fixing hot races. No, don't fix hot races. Hot races are just usually filled with hot shit.
Hot shit.
There you go, Nelly.
Going down, baby.
All right, I keep hearing transparenting instead of transparency. That's the Pikeville accent. So you're paying.
I can go a little more redneck in here.
There you go. So you're saying the new sim will allow for fixing races? Oh yeah, no,
yeah, sure. Let's fix the fuck out of
races, juicing your horses, all of it. We're gonna add it all. Let's see. I think that's it. Ben Squirrel says Ben takes over. Plan isn't in the cards, huh?
No, Ben doesn't want anything to do with this, man. None of my kids do. I'm disappointed. I'm heartbroken. I'm crushed. So maybe Frank Skid will want it eventually. But.
You could adopt me.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ivan says, will there be a jockey effort button along with the jockey instructions? It'll be like jockey effort in 0 is a stiff job. That's an interesting concept.
It's hard to say.
I don't know what it adds, but that's an interesting concept.
I don't know. Again, we're going to rewrite a whole bunch of shit. So we'll consider a whole bunch of shit. So, you know what? At least I'm not against writing the logic in whether or not the GUI, the UX UI that I provide allows it. So we'll just put it that way.
BK said you already offered me a spot to sleep on your kitchen floor. Listen, that's all I need. I'm not needy. I need
that.
Some sleeps, maybe some ramen noodles. I'll be good.
Do you call them ramen noodles?
Ramen, it's all the same.
Ramen.
Oh,
team ramen, man.
My apologies. I didn't realize that you enunciated in Pikeville.
I'm offensed. Now let me ask you this, and this is a serious question, Frank. Sure. This is going to determine whether or not we're really friends or not. Are you a team soup ramen noodle guy? Or you a dry ramen noodle guy?
Wait, what was the first one? Am I what?
Are you a team soup ramen noodle guy? Like, do you put it in a soup, or do you like dry them out and put the?
All right, hold on. So there's two answers to this because
yes.
All right, so the first answer is when I feel like being a straight fat ass and like just don't give a fuck about like what's going on in life, I will full blown soup the ramen. But
no, I mean it's the same thing.
No. But when I care, my wife makes a crazy good it's called it's like a salad, but it's got ramen noodles in it.
No, fuck that. What I'm talking about is I'm talking about
but
like
dry.
Do you dry? No, okay. No, do you cook the ramen noodles and then drain them before you put the powder in?
Oh no, fuck that. Why would you do that?
Fuck, that's the delicious part, man.
No, I want all the sodium. I want it liquefied.
No, you don't want it liquefied. You want the sodium like injected into your eyeballs. What you do is you boil the ramen noodles. You drain the ramen noodles before you put the shit in. Then after they're dry, you put the fucking salt in. Then you put that's when it's fucking because you get all the sodium and they're dry. It's like it's like injecting it into your eyeballs.
Okay, so hold on a second. So if I pour the sodium into the soup, hold on, I'm not done. Let me finish.
Okay,
if I pour the sodium into the soup and then I eat all the noodles and drink the soup, doesn't that make me hardcore than you?
No, the hardcore, because that takes too much time. I'm like, here's what you do. Boil it. Throw the ramen in there to boil. Drain it before you put the sodium in. Then after it's completely dried, you have to dry it well.
Bobby Flay.
Then you throw the shit in there and stir it, and then you eat it, and it's delicious.
All right. Listen, I'll have to
because it's hardcore. It's like injected into your eyeball. It's awesome.
That's Pikeville, baby. Let's get it.
That's Pikeville, baby.
Let's go.
That's actually more. That's actually more Hellier. If you want to get hardcore, look up Hellier.
Oh, hold on,
because that's where my dad's from.
Hold on a second. And maybe I'm misunderstanding this because Cadet said directly on the noodles, right?
Yes.
Oh, no. So I pour it directly on the noodles.
But you got to drain it before you pour it on.
I don't drain it. Yeah, no, I don't drain it.
You drain it before you pour it on the noodles.
But I don't drench it either. Like, I don't drench it in water.
No, you have to boil it, of course.
I mean, you don't have to. You could eat it like a potato chip.
You could, but nobody here is a savage. So
what do you mean?
Oh yeah, we're gonna take this offline because we have problems. You and I have problems now.
Listen,
now we've got a problem.
All right, so Super Taffy, just in case you didn't know, when you come on the next stream, you have to pour the seasoning on dry brick of ramen.
That's not the way it works.
Everybody's eating it. That's it. That's hardcore. That's Pikeville, baby. We're getting out of. That's how we're doing. That's how we're doing.
No, you don't get it. Oh, I'm so heartbroken.
Nope, I got it. Everybody's eating.
I'm heartbroken.
Dry.
You broke my heart, Frank. Right here on the stream, you broke my heart.
Salty, dry noodles. Let's get it. All right, let's see. Cadet, what is happening? I'm not sure.
Nobody's sure. Yeah. We're just having a good time. Yeah. We're just fucking around.
Definitely fell off the wagon here. Cadet says he's Team Mike directly on the noodles.
Yes.
All right, Taffy's on my side. Leave the water.
No, Taffy. No, you can't be that person. No, I'm not. It's not allowed.
Croft said, "Is this code for anything?" This is actually the new Python code. Let's see. Chip says, "I prefer to hear about Python." There you go. You just heard it. It's the noodles.
Yeah. And this is funny because we're getting more responses about our ramen noodle argument than we've gotten all night.
Ivan says, "Bobby Flay spirit invading the Twitch." Oh, he's rolling over in his grave right now. He's not dead, but he's rolling over in his grave. Bazals, no, it's soup. See, listen, you're outnumbered right now.
No, I don't care if I'm outnumbered. I'm right. You know what? Rage Against the Machine, baby.
Rage Against the Machine. A little. All right. I gotta. This reference.
Some of those that hate the ramen are the same that hate the ramen. I don't know. All I'm gonna say is that no, I am right on this.
So let's see. We see Chips, Maddie says, Frank could be Uncle Roger, has the right colored top on. All right. I guess that's my hair. Let's see.
Is that lettuce in the background now with the coat hanger? What's going on over there?
It's still the Hulk.
Oh, yeah. It looked like lettuce now.
Oh, great. Now my son is going to be a head of lettuce. Great. All right, let's go out of the picture. Oh, didn't get it out of the picture.
Now it looks like the Hulk. it was the angle. I was just being silly.
Also, lost connection again. Forgive me.
Forgive Frank.
There we go.
He has sinned.
Ooh, all right. Cadet, I've eaten ramen directly out of the package. # no judgment. Dude, my wife makes
judges you.
My wife makes a salad with ramen noodles in it, dry ramen noodles in it. It is it's called, I think it's Asian coleslaw is what it's called.
I've had it. It's not bad.
Dude, fucking awesome. Love it.
It's just not as good as like ramen noodles, like completely boiled. Don't put it in until they're dry. You put it on after it. You stir it in. It's delicious.
Listen, I just scored 1,000 points with Taffy because she's Team Frank.
Yeah. Taffy's good people.
That's
so
right.
I got nothing.
Cadet, sorry, man.
She's wrong, but she's good people.
Sorry, Cadet. You're only worth about -7 points.
Oh, now Cadet's Team Mike, right?
Cadet is Team Mike. He is Team Mike. But
he knows where it's at.
He's just trying to get a free horse out of you. BK says, gotta go the Canadian way, drain the noodles, then put what the hell is the sodium on the noodles? Oh, Jesus Christ. And then snort lines of the other half of the sodium. Oh my God. That just sounds like you have an addiction problem.
It's not an addiction if you like it.
I think that makes it the addiction.
Maybe.
I don't know, man. That's BK.
That's what I tell myself anyway.
If you're snorting straight up sodium, you have a. I guess the question is this: which flavor? Which flavor are you snorting? Because that's got to be the next relevant question, right? There's the beef.
Here's the
chicken,
trick,
right?
Yeah. No, the
shrimp?
hardest one to do, is that chili flavor. It's tough. But if you mix the chili with the chicken, like half and half, perfect.
Oh, chili just makes you hardcore. That's all that means.
The chili and the chicken together, like you mix them half and half. You get like 2 of the ramen packages and you mix them like half and half each time. It's like dope.
Amir says he fries the noodles after he drains it with the seasoning and additional things. Yeah,
that sounds like way too hard, but I mean, it actually sounds really good.
I'm going to be honest with you. Amir frying noodles sounds a lot safer than BK snorting sodium off the noodles.
No, you know what? I could do the fried raw. I hadn't thought of the fried after they're boiled. That's actually pretty smart. I might have to try that.
Yeah, I'm not that. That's not me, man. Listen, I got my people with me. Donnie. I said I always see D Money Schaefer and think it's Donnie. D Money Schaefer's team Mike. I think they're all just kissing your ass at this point.
No, nobody's kissing my ass. They love you, Frank. You're the one that brings them the stream.
Am I?
Yeah.
Well,
you're the Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton in this. You're the islands in the stream.
Wait, which one of us has the boobs?
I've got the boobs.
Well, then you're the attraction.
I'm just going to leave that there.
That's sorry, guys. It's not me. It's Mike. Gotta snort the picante chicken. Yeah, man. Listen. This stream went way off the rails. All right. So D Money. I'm DB Money. That's right. But you guys, your names are in the same color on the chat, so it keeps throwing me for a loop. All right, so outside of ramen, I'm not even sure how the hell we ended up on ramen, but outside of ramen, anybody have any other questions about the game? Or do we just want to trade recipes? Have a good night. Take care, Tappy. We'll be
see you, Tap.
We'll be in contact about the next stream. Tappet shares for Team Mike. The fuck out of here. Nobody's getting Tappet streams on my watch. Or Tappet shares, not streams. All right, guys. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and end it here if there's no other questions. Appreciate everybody joining and having a good time. We had a blast. I know we got off to a slow start. It did pick up. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we picked it up. Yeah, the ramen turned into a whole mood, didn't it?
It sure did, man. We're gonna get, we'll try to get Taffy on in the next one. We'll try to reach
she
out.
Chooses not to. We'll do it to you. We'll find somebody else, or we'll just wear you out with us again.
Listen, if she chooses not to, we'll just find another conversation about noodles and go from there. But yeah, man. Listen, it was a blast. It was a great time. Mike, anything you want to say before we close out?
You know what? The same thing I always say is that it's been crazy. It's been a crazy 25 years. And I just, I appreciate everybody that, plays the game, but shows up here for these silly things. And, it's we got still 20 people here, 20 some people.
27.
Shit. Yeah. I think we got as many as we started with. So yeah, you guys are hanging out, having a good time. I mean, I'm having a blast. I mean, this is, This is the stuff. This is like Mike's go-go juice right now, man. I'm like Honey Boo Boo up in here. I mean, I love this stuff. This is,
And for those of you who don't really understand just how much he does love it, this is the stuff that literally gets him oh fuck, I'm gonna spend 10 hours tomorrow coding. That's this is when he does the streams and whatnot. I do hear from him, throughout the day and what have you. And it's always hey, I'm working on this, and this, and this is what we're doing. And da, 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 da. And it's just I have to finally tell him at times, bro, take a break, man. You're going to burn yourself out. He's super, super enthusiastic about this, super appreciative of everybody who joins in and just communicates with us.
Yeah.
Loves it, man. So please, please, please absolutely keep it up. Shoot us messages. Tell Mike, you appreciate everything, even if it's just bullshitting with him and talking ramen noodles. It's
this is the fun. I mean,
right.
It really is. It's, and I can't thank Frank enough. Like I said, it's for all these streams that he's putting out, he's putting me in front of you guys, but it's really, that's only half of, or only even a third or a quarter of what he does. He is he's allowing the game to move forward. He's running block on some stuff. I hate to say that, but I mean, he loves being in the chat room. I don't. I'm just too busy. I've got, it really is tough, man. But he's out there. He's talking to you guys. He's telling me what I'm fucking up. And he really is like he's the one that's and he like he really is like the buttress. He's like, I'm out here fucking stuff up, and he's like, yeah, Mike, you may want to do this a little better. So yeah, I mean, Frank's doing a fabulous job, man. It's
I wouldn't
great.
say fabulous, but I'm a little bit. I'll put it this way: I ease Mike into thought processes a little bit more than most folks do. Again, it's more or less just to, like I said, I'm an advocate for the player community. Yes, I code. Yes, I help out with the game. Not in the context of what you all see on the front end just yet, but we are getting there.
You're getting there.
We are getting there. But the point is to make a much, 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 much better experience, not only for Mike, but for the community and as a whole. And that's it. And that's what we're trying to do.
If I had my way 5 years from now, I'll be. If you guys want me here, I'll be here. But if you don't need me here, I'll be gone. I really want this thing to I want this thing to outlive me. That's the whole mood. I mean, I'm really that's why I started. Reached out to Frank and I was like, we have to like make me not that important in this game. And Frank is taking a huge step, but we'll get there. We'll keep taking steps, and then I'm still here.
Giving him the boot.
5 years from now, at least I'll just be a figurehead, but I won't be the guy, man.
No, Mike will always be the guy. But again, like I said, I do take most of the forefront, and I do it so that Mike can focus on keeping the game running and doing what it's doing. So again, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, feel free to go to Mike. Most of the time it'll end up on my desk anyway. But if you do, again, but it's not to, brush you off or anything like that. It's more or less like, hey, I have just as much insight as Mike now. I may not be able to apply it the way that he can. But at the same time, like, we're here to, make sure everybody's happy and having a good time. And that's the ultimate goal. So,
yes, sir.
But we're going to go ahead.
Thank you again, everyone that's here. Thank you, Frank, for running the stream. I love this shit. I mean, like, it's been 25 years. I've been here 25 years, and it took me like 25 years to fucking realize I love to be out and talking to these people. I mean, they're just awesome.
We're gonna do some cool stuff coming up too. We'll do. I think we haven't really talked about this, but these are just my thoughts that I'm going to drop on Mike live on stream. But we'll do like a holiday party, or where we get a group of folks in on Zoom.
Oh, Halloween! Can we dress up?
Yeah, man, let's do it. I'll be the Hulk.
No, we got to be Kiss. We got to be Kiss members.
I'm down. I'll do it. I'll get my wife to paint the face, and we'll do it.
My heater's broken. I'm so tired.
And with that, we're gonna go ahead and end it. But
yes,
I gotta deny that. Sorry. But all right, guys.
I'm afraid to ask what that's all about.
We'll be getting hit with a lot of spam bots in this chat, in this stream.
Okay. I was trying to hit you up with like a sex, like dirty pics.
Oh, Jesus. Not yet. I'm not ready for that yet. All right, so we're gonna leave it at that, man. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for everything. We'll get gifts out by tomorrow. And yeah, y'all take care. Have a good one. And
love you guys.
We'll
Thank you so much. Thank you, Frank. See you guys soon.
Take care.